I'm not gonna lie, I have missed.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay,
Alright,
2, 1,
not
4.
we're not performing.
Yeah.
No. Welcome to the first episode of 217 Podcast. I'm your host,
What's up, guys?
Tay Infinite. All right, Brian, continue what
Me
you're
and Brian
saying.
was doing this natural a second.
Yeah. Yeah, it's natural. Go for it. I'm presenting the viewers. Go.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, you should have just recorded and just left it alone.
Yeah. Go on. What were we talking about? I done forgot.
Super.
Right.
Yeah, what
I
about Super?
can't- Wait, Brian, I can't actually hear you though. Like, I don't think you're closer to the mic.
Okay,
Turn
Dragon
him
Ball
up.
You're a little
Super.
quiet, bro.
Okay, 1 second. How about now?
Turn him up, right?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
No,
cool.
I got everyone turned up. He's just not close to his mic.
No, my mic is just better than everyone's mic. So.
Hey, Sean.
Okay.
Sean.
Fuck off.
Jokes aside, make a YouTube channel right now. I'm gonna throw it up there tonight.
Bet.
Same to
Sure.
win.
So let me tell you something about Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super. The reason why Dragon Ball Super is good is mostly because the writing has gone back to being a comedy action rather than being pure action like Dragon Ball Z was. And so for someone that may not have experienced the first Dragon Ball, like when Goku was a kid, that feels out of tone in comparison with the rest of the series. But Akira Toriyama is really good at making comedy happen, and Super was a great mix of everything that made Dragon Ball Z great and everything that made Dragon Ball good. So now power scaling is out of the window because the good guys always have to win. That's always the case in any like shonen anime. The good guys have to win. So Jiren had to lose. He just had to.
It's Goku overcoming a wall. It's literally meant to be power embodiment.
I understand how story mechanics work. The issue is he implemented them and doesn't know how to do anything with them. You can't count these characters.
Write me a
power.
Dragon Ball. Write me a better Dragon Ball Super episode right fucking
Oh,
now.
if he didn't fucking mess up
No.
his own lore in the beginning, maybe he could.
He didn't
Wait,
mess it up.
hang
Oh,
on.
oh.
Shaw, what you just said could have been literally any Dragon Ball Z villain. They can blow up the planet anytime they want to. They don't.
That's not my point. My point is he set the stakes, and then you're asking me to fix them for him. He
No,
did.
No, what you say, he can end the battle there. Literally any villain in Z can do that.
No, I mean Jiren is stated to be basically stronger than a destruction god. He basically
Yeah.
fights almost no one until the bare ass minimum of that tournament, and Goku gets his ass washed through half of it. So why
Yeah.
does Goku have any energy to win this fight?
Because of Senkai. That's a thing that's been explained in the Dragon Ball series for fucking ages. The
Yeah,
closer
he
to
didn't
death
fall
you are,
asleep. He
The
didn't,
closer
he didn't
to
get a
death you
chance
are.
for any of this shit to take effect.
the closer to death you are, the stronger you become as a Saiyan. Goku
It's not even
passed out.
death. It's strong. It's
Yeah,
the
but
more
not
Saiyan
in
fight,
the middle of
the stronger they
battle.
get.
They usually have to be nearly killed and healed and then get that boost. That never happened.
Okay, listen.
But we stated the reason the way Ultra Instinct works that way because of Zenkai and Saiyans they fight as they improve, or they improve
Yeah.
as they fight, and that's what's
Yeah,
happening
I
there.
mean, well, that works for Goku mostly because
Saiyans in
Vegeta
general,
too.
Yeah, every
gets
Saiyan
fucked
has
over
it.
all the time. So
But
that's-
which is
No,
true. Yeah.
Vegeta is just a weaker character than Goku because Goku is good. Listen, this is about character moment. The reason Vegeta always loses in comparison to Goku is because Vegeta is an angrier, bitter character than Goku is. Goku is always looking for the next fight. He's always looking to self-improve. Vegeta is just looking to be stronger for the sake of being stronger. Every time that Vegeta has broken his limits, it has not been because he was looking for strength. It was because he accepted that he needs to be stronger, not for his sake, but for the sake of everyone else around him.
Super Saiyan evolution. He literally imagines that
I
he's
guess-
transformed.
No, I mean that's fine. Vegeta's character development is usually decently solid because he's the only real character there with nuance.
He's not though.
Who's
he's
the
not
other
that.
character with nuance?
Goku is more nuanced than people give him credit for. Goku is smarter than people think he is. Goku is a better fighter than people think he is, and Goku is
Why
not
did he
as
start the tournament of power?
because his whole thing is about fighting. Goku is a selfish character.
So he's smarter than I think he is, but dumb is just as
No,
dumb
no,
as
no.
I still think.
He is selfish. Goku wants to fight the strongest person in the universe, so he started a whole series of events that he didn't know would turn into the universe of power. But that doesn't mean that Goku is stupid. Goku just has selfish reasons to start shit with other people.
Get that he never actually even beat Beerus, so he never
No.
even eclipsed his own universe yet.
You see a lot of Saiyans out of Goku and Super, especially determined
Yeah.
power.
No, I mean
Yeah.
I get the whole Saiyan race thing, but that's not even really the most main fault with the show. They did a lot of bullshit to make up for just not keeping up with their own story.
Well, dude,
Roshi
it's
is-
it's a fucking 30-year-old franchise. Like
It's
shit,
not my fault they came back.
shit is
No one
going to shit is going to change. Fucking get over it.
But there's a lot of things like, for
I
example,
didn't get over it, but
Like
you
that is so
blaming
old.
me for this nigga's faults. That's not my
Yeah.
fault.
They're not
He wrote a
false.
bad story.
No,
There's a-
he didn't. He wrote
there's a lot of
fun-
stuff in Super where like, say like, remember when Vegito unfused, and a lot
Yeah.
of people came out like, why did that happen? Well, they never explained why they fused in Z. Basically,
Right.
like they never told you there was a limit. They just said you can fuse, but people jumped to a conclusion because they saw Z first. Super
Yeah.
actually explains why they unfused.
Because your
The-
boy wants a universe based on his whims, but
I
it
blame.
has
I
a
blame.
canon. It has canon rules. already.
No, here's
You
what
know-
I believe. Here's what I believe. If I make an universe, if I make an anime universe, whatever I decide to do in that universe is canon, and all of you can go fuck yourselves.
No, the
that's-
problem
that's
is-
fair. As a
Okay.
writer, you can actually do that, but as
You-
the viewer, I can tell you to go fuck yourself.
But I can tell you that you're wrong.
The problem is with Dragon Ball Z.
You don't get to sit there and like build this lore out and then say, "Oh, you're stupid for listening to me season 2 ago." Like
Yeah,
that,
but-
those rules don't matter anymore. nigga.
Here's the thing. Here's the
I
thing.
knew.
And this is my criticism with YouTube geekdom and then YouTube anime dumb and all these assholes that talk about pop culture like we do.
I know
Um,
Geekdom.
It's these people that set their expectations based on information that they don't have, and they're theorizing, and the theory becomes really popular, and now suddenly that's canon for them. And then the writer goes, "No, that's stupid." And then they get
Last
mad at the writer.
Jedi.
No, I give you that. If it's just a theory, that's sometimes just the fans' fault. But if a character says word like, "Oh, I'm not as strong as this guy, but this form is," then yeah, I'm gonna work with that as a plot point.
But
if
it doesn't
Super
have
Saiyan
to be.
3 is as strong as this, then now I understand how strong Super Saiyan 3 is. I have something solid to work with. But
There
if
was a
you go to
ceiling or a
God
limit.
mode and I have to have a dick match with Krillin of all people, then I don't understand. what
Sure,
happened.
no. We argue about that. He only really did that against Krillin to test Krillin's limits. He knows he
Right.
can beat Krillin, no problem.
Fucking regular
He's-
Super Saiyan could have tested
No,
Krillin.
it's not
No
that.
doubt.
He's fighting a god. That's a difference.
Yeah.
You have word to go to a tournament. He
Okay,
get-
so
Krillin
I-
knows he can
isn't,
beat
isn't,
him.
In
Isn't
this
God
team
Key and
tournament-
regular Key different?
Yeah, they're different, but if he's pitting Krillin like, hey, I'm way above you. Krillin acknowledges it himself. But if
Yeah.
you can handle, like, if you can challenge me a bit, you're worthy to go to the tournament. That's why they didn't bring Yamcha, because they know he's not even worthy. Plus, he doesn't fight anymore.
Right.
He's not even worthy. But
Krillin, first of all,
Yamcha's
Krillin
tough.
is the strongest human in the.
He is
in
the strongest
Dragon
human.
Ball
That's
universe.
still a
that's
fact.
not the
Well,
point.
Oob
Those
is,
things
never mind.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Because
Shut up.
I'm about
at
to
the
say,
end of the day, does the
Like,
super
he is a
god
fucking
shit
boss.
ever come into the plot?
Yeah.
Does,
What?
does the
What'd
god
you say?
does so you tell me Krillin fights somebody with God Key?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
So that little story bit was pointless.
it wasn't.
No,
because Krillin
it just
fights
sang-
enemies that are unmatched with him. Krillin.
The thing is,
fights the
look.
other universe. Krillin
Wow.
gets God out of the. Sorry, Tay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying, like, well, see, this is, stop thinking of Naruto. This is different and how powers work. God Key, wow, is different from normal
Naruto's
Key.
a little bit more consistent.
Yeah,
No,
it's created
it's
for what? With
No,
not like
it's not.
Naruto
God
is not
Key.
any more
It's
consistent.
somehow consistent, but Naruto isn't. That's
there's Key and God Key, right? One is for gods, one for mortals. Frieza literally proved that you don't have to be a god to fight a god. He was a normal being with superpowers, strong.
I get it.
But he fought against
He was able
Goku.
to.
Same with Jiren. You see that a lot in the Super. God Key, while it has a cool name, doesn't mean you're guaranteed strong. Look at the freaking Kais. Goku was immortal at the time in Z. He still could beat all the Kais.
King Kai was like, oh,
Yeah.
Let me make it clear.
But like,
Beerus
but say like,
is the strongest character in your known universe.
He's not,
At least
though.
Goku's known universe.
He's not though.
but then
We
compared
are-
to something like
Who's stronger
Naruto, like
than him in his universe?
who? Wait, who?
Beerus has
Stronger
never
than
been.
Beerus.
Wait,
Will.
say that again.
Who is stronger than Beerus in his universe?
Whis. This lady stayed in Battle Z.
Whis,
Yeah, that's his
yeah.
teacher. Yeah, Whis.
But Goku's never beat Beerus.
No.
Okay, so God Key allowed him to be kind of a match
Vegeta
for him,
has also
but
never beat a god of
never
destruction.
beat him.
Say it again.
Jiren has also never beat a god of destruction.
But he's already considered more powerful than a god of
Yeah, he's
destruction.
considered powers
show.
cause drug destruction.
The show
Well,
says
look,
it.
no. Here's the thing.
Wait.
No,
How am I
listen.
wrong when these niggas say
Listen.
it?
They said that, but we don't know. God of Destruction's powers can be different from each one of each other. In a manga, considered Beerus the strongest. We don't know how strong the God of Destruction of freaking Jiren's universe.
In
Yeah.
the story,
Yeah.
I would put it this way: when y'all watched Bleach, were you confused on how strong a lieutenant and a captain were?
I didn't watch Bleach. I don't know.
Okay,
Bleach
who
was
watched
Bleach has some fucked up power scaling
did.
too.
They
Was
all
anyone
have.
confused on the levels of captains and lieutenants.
No.
Shaw, what you're saying to me here is not that Dragon Ball Super is bad. It's that you want a hard magic system instead of a soft magic
No,
system.
I want them to apply their own fucking rules and not
They
for
don't
people
have-
to just be okay. Like, oh, it was funny, so that's stupid.
But that was
That's-
the argument that Brad was saying, though. The author of the show, the creator, doesn't give a shit about the logic that the fan base.
It makes him a bad writer at the end of the day.
It doesn't.
Well,
He's
Ethan,
an
I will.
excellent writer. He's just writing with
Ethan-
a different goal.
The problem with Dragon, and I'm not sure about other anime with Dragon Ball Z. People are not watching these shows throughout.
Yeah,
They're
watching
watching
the
fights on YouTube. Exactly. They're not watching what's going around. That's the problem when misinformation keep going around.
All right, so you telling me the sword thing that Black Rose? What the fuck is his?
Goku, Black.
Goku Black. What
My
about him?
favorite
Yeah.
super arc, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
Wait, what about him?
But
I mean,
that was well written. All that.
Yeah, that was
Future Saga that
interestingly
doesn't
written.
particularly make sense. Trunks' Excalibur weapon at the end of it that didn't make sense.
The
That
Spirit
does make
Sword?
sense. The
I
Spirit
would say
Sword
it's
makes
supposed to be like
perfect sense.
Spirit Bomb. It's supposed to be like
Basically.
Spirit Bomb, isn't it?
So see, that's
Yeah.
the thing. If the fans, the people vouching for it, can just say the words "it's supposed to be" and it's this, you guys, no one's said anything solid but me at this point.
No, you're wrong. The Spirit Sword.
That ego.
Okay, Trunks literally absorbed the energy around them and then took that energy and put it in the sword. You know what that is? A
From
fucking
what, like
spirit bomb.
7 people?
No, from the planet, you twat.
The point, just that?
That's what the spirit bomb has always been. It's always been energy from all
But
living
no,
things
no.
around you.
Technically, he did only take the energies
From
of
the
people.
planet and
From the
what,
people.
the last few people left on the planet.
Mm.
That's it.
The planet is alive, Shaw.
I'm aware that the planet exists. I'm just saying that there's less humans than it was when we
It
killed
doesn't-
the last few villains, right?
He didn't make a fucking like 3,000 megaton spirit bomb. He just made a spirit sword. He took whatever energy he could and then slashed Samazu.
I'm
That
saying
makes
that-
think
perfect
about it, like,
sense.
the first spirit bomb that Goku made, it was really small. He was able to pass it on to Krillin. It didn't have to be something major. It was
Yeah.
what he could gather up at the time.
Plus,
You
you don't
don't
need only
need that
humans. You
much
need to litter everything around the basically everything living on the planet.
You
Give it the
don't
Spirit
need
Bomb.
to
Grass,
fucking,
plants, anything.
like destroy the planet to be strong in Dragon Ball Super. He just
They
No.
got a
all
little bit,
do. Stop
he got a little
playing.
bit of energy and then he flashed Samazu. That's all that
No.
happened.
They
It's
all
okay.
Freaking-
care. You guys are
Master Roshi blew up the moon and bought Dragon Ball with no
Yeah.
ease like these.
need to be strong to destroy the planet. All of the niggas can do it. Who are you arguing for?
That's how I was arguing earlier with Jiren. It's the same argument against the tournament power. Literally, every villain can end with blowing up the planet.
Literal consistency.
The point
Yeah.
about
Always
Dragon Ball
that.
Z, the point about Dragon Ball Z is that there's a cool fight. That is the point. That is the goal of
But
Dragon Ball Z.
If
There
you
is
can
a-
just say the words, it doesn't have a good plot, but I enjoy the fights, I'll let it go because that's just what you're saying.
Because you're fucking wrong, Shaw.
I'm right.
So loud.
I'm
Let me-
right. I just live with it.
Yeah.
Listen, Shaw, you're wrong because Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super both have fully fledged, understandable, serviceable, good plots. You just
Right.
don't like them.
Brian, I love you, dearly. I love you like a brother, but you're wrong.
You just don't.
Devil's
like 'em.
advocate. Dragon Ball's better than all of them, though. So
Yeah, Dragon Ball is the
Well,
funniest one
mean,
and the best one.
Oh, but
Hey, and you also know why Toriyama keeps getting all this shit? Because he didn't want to continue the show past Dragon Ball. All of the
no,
shit-
he's making up money.
what is pretending? You need to give him a pass. He could have made something new if he wasn't gonna follow
I'm
the
not-
fucking rules of the last one. Just
He didn't
tell
stick
me.
That takes too much effort.
Toriyama has never. Toriyama has never said the rules. This isn't Harry fucking Potter or Full Metal Alchemist. Toriyama has
Oh,
never said the fucking
no.
rules for the show.
There is no really no rules, really.
Stuff that
You
are
know
cool.
there's Zenkai boost, so there was a
Just some
rule.
bullshit.
You know there's Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
so there's some kind of fucking rule.
There's not.
You can't
There's
pretend
not.
some rules exist and others don't.
Because Universe 6 turns into Super Saiyan entirely different than Universe 7.
No, because he's a dumbass who couldn't come up with how they were strong.
No, Shaw.
Even all these
Look,
motherfucking
don't-
fan service characters that
Shaw,
catch up
Shaw,
with his
Shaw.
unique-
Shaw, don't call Toriyama that. It's just his writing's stuck in the 80s. It's completely different from modern
No,
anime.
I'm sorry. It's just like there's no
Respect your
reason.
elders.
No, I get what you're saying, but anime evolved past that. He's still stuck in a certain way.
Fan service characters of Goku and Vegeta. No, wait, fucking Broly and Goku and was like, oh, these are Goku and Broly with tits. How do I make sure they're strong enough to fight Goku and Vegeta? Oh, I know. I'll just skip all that bullshit and say they just that strong.
Don't you
That's
talk
it.
bad about her.
Do anyone like her? I mean, I can't argue that.
She's fine. She's fine.
I mean, yeah, she's a fine character. It's just that he didn't work on any of these shit.
Shot, do you know why we don't see Kefla's character development?
They called it Lemonade for y'all. It was like, oh, this is something Toriyama gave it to me.
Do you know why Kefla, we don't get a whole arc dedicated to Kefla?
There's no art. Stop it. That's
Do
not
you know why we don't get an arc dedicated to that woman or that character or how they
Hey,
became
go on, Brian. Go on, Brian.
Because we don't have the fucking time. The story is not her story. It's Goku and Vegeta's story. So we're not going to get stronger.
He wrote it. Why?
It's Universe 7's story. It's the point of view, Shaw. You can't write an ever-expanding universe about every.
That's
single
One Piece.
goddamn
One Piece
character.
does that.
How much you just said they already had the same levels? What? Like, no one said he had to say like this motherfucker doesn't even know what Super Saiyan is. He wrote that. He did it himself. What the fuck is happening?
Universe 6 Super Saiyans are naturally stronger than Universe 7 Super Saiyans. You know why that happens? You know why that happens? Because they have to fight. Because they have to fight.
Yes, that's
Because
my
they have
point.
to fight. That
And
is
he
it.
couldn't
That's the only reason. That's the only reason they have to fight. It has to make an interesting show. It has to be interesting. That's it.
I mean,
That's
but
it.
doesn't that fall into like Shoujin in general?
That's exactly
Isn't
what
that
I'm
like
saying.
the center of everything?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
what?
Shonen is the
Every
same.
time Deku fights a new hero, another big baddie shows up, so Deku can be stronger. That's
I mean,
exactly
I
what happens
get
in
that, but
Goku.
that don't mean it can't have a good story with
Yeah,
it.
wait, let me make
Like
this
you
clear.
can't just break all of the rules you made.
But
and
here's what I'm
expect
saying.
people to roll with it.
There's no rules that are being broken in Dragon Ball. There's no rules that are being broken. Toriyama never set any of these rules.
He's right about that. He didn't set any rules.
Oh, okay.
Literally, original Dragon Ball was it's a gag manga. It started as a gag. It's a comic relief
Yeah.
anime, and it
Like
follows
I
that
said.
while it became more action oriented.
Collective stance. You
I
said
think
it.
Shaw. I think and it's funny, but that's true. But I think Shaw is expecting modern versions of shonen anime into
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, which is not
is
the
not-
case.
It's not fair
Because-
to the anime, and it's not fair to Toriyama as an author.
No, yeah, I get
It's
you
not-
said to like
Not fair to Toriyama.
How is it not fair? And he wrote it.
because he's no. The thing is, he's writing. He's not writing like these modern writers. He's writing like he was in the 80s and 90s. That's not
No.
Toriyama style
He's
at all.
writing a story that he
It's not
enjoys
my
and that he
fault.
knows that he will
It's not
consume.
my fault, Toriyama
Yeah,
is old.
no one's saying it's your fault. That's just how he writes.
If he was a better writer, this would have smoothed over.
Sean, what we're saying is that nobody gives a shit about your opinion, and neither does Toriyama.
No, it's not that. It just think I think Show's arguing something. If you talk about Naruto, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It has a set of rules, or at least it has some, because that
Right.
freaking war arc was awful. But
Yeah, but
You know
But-
what, I get it, but that's the thing. Even One Punch Man, which is more of a gag than fucking Super is, or
Dragon
fucking-
Ball.
you cannot tell me that One Punch Man has any rules because that does not.
It has
some
rules.
fucking
One Punch Man is the
like
strongest
fucking
character.
rules.
That's the
Yeah,
rule.
basically
That's
the
literally the
rule.
rule, which
You
is why the
cannot
show is
compare-
boring.
You can understand people's power levels from the random shit they do. You
What is
know
this
who shit
obsession with power levels that people have when it comes to Dragon Ball Z?
because it sets the drama that they're trying to fucking. You cannot pretend he fucking made Goku piss on Jiren and call it a night. He made him
Yeah.
fight him like it was a.
Toriyama threw power levels in the trash, like in
Yeah,
the second
Yeah,
arc.
and
He
probably- He started that. He started these motherfuckers down this line and realized he couldn't keep it up. It's not my fault. The old
No,
man couldn't get
he
it up.
didn't realize he couldn't keep it up. He decided not to.
Then he
'Cause
should
it-
have wrote Super. He would not have people doing all this shit. He could have wrote a whole new gag manga and no rules and just called
But-
it this
but-
guy.
I
does what I want.
agree.
At what point? At what point
What, Gabby?
do we as consumers start to dictate what the artists are making? Like,
All
just
the time because they're
Wow.
the
No.
ones that make the artist the money.
no. Artists make whatever they want to make, and then you either buy it or don't.
Brian, you don't have a movie you dislike? Are you gonna tell me you don't have a movie you
Yeah,
dislike?
but I'm not saying that like it's like shitty. I just don't like what it did.
Look, movies can be bad and good. Like art is an ever expanding well, but it
There's
doesn't mean that there
There's
are
a
any.
subjectivity to art. There's a subjectivity and an objectivity to the quality of art. But the preference about what goes on context-wise, plot-wise, and story-wise is often not for us to decide on how it should have been done because it is not our content. It is the author's content.
That's true. Toriyama can't decide
Consumers
how-
cannot be the writers of the stories that they are consuming. Because when fans write those stories, when fans demand something for the writers, when fans expect something from the writers, they will always be disappointed by the end product. They will always be sad by the end product because it's not what they wanted.
I mean,
That's
even
what-
I
They're
personally
fan
think
artists.
of
That's
course,
why the most successful pieces of content are the ones that have an arc
better story than
in
Dragon
the
Ball.
end.
My
sure
input, that's
Yeah.
that's true. Like, even though I dislike the movie, that's one of the main reasons why people hated The Last Jedi. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Last
They
Jedi
just have this.
objectively tracked. Oh my
People they had these like very expectations after the seventh movie, and it wasn't the movie's fault. It wasn't Seven's fault. It's what people assumed and stuck with it.
Yeah.
Look,
You know,
you're a writer. Your job is to convince me of all this stuff.
No. I am not your fucking slave. My job is to write what I want to write. Your job is to consume
I
it.
mean, you're basically God at this point, and I can be fucking annoying if I want to be.
You can be annoying if you want to be, but me as the writer,
he
I
doesn't
can
have to
just-
listen to you.
I can be like, I don't care about what you're doing.
You know,
Like, pay me or not. Like,
Writers don't have their own rights, and hell, that's not even the point. It doesn't change that Toriyama wrote a bad story just because he had
listen,
That is true.
I-
whatever the fuck he wants, but he wrote a bad story.
my
Yeah,
I am not even arguing. Like, you may think that the Dragon Ball Super story is bad, and I can accept
it
that.
is.
And I can accept that. I can accept that from you as your opinion. But it is not objectively bad because that story had a goal and it met that goal successfully.
the problem is you're expecting writing from Dragon Ball. That should be the last place you expect writing from.
I can write Dragon Ball Super and just say Goku pissed on Jiren and called it a win.
Write me an episode. Write me an episode that is interesting.
No, that's my point. There are levels you can take to make that work. They didn't take any of those levels.
They did. They
Arguing
did.
on his execution, and you can do that because art is criticism.
They had a setup. They had, but this isn't
Because
criticism.
you have some criticism, you
No,
can
no,
do
no.
better. If
My
Toriyama
argument is that this isn't criticism, Shaw.
60s,
This is not criticism. This is you saying that Toriyama didn't do what you wanted him to do, so it's bad.
no, I said Toriyama
Oh.
did a good story. I had no real high hopes from Super like the rest of you. He didn't write a good story because I don't personally care that much about
But you don't think it's a good story, not because it's an objectively bad story. You don't think it's a good story because it doesn't do the things that you would do if you were writing that story. And that's a different, that is not criticism. That
the
is that is inserting yourself into the role of the writer of an IP that you are not responsible for.
That's true, but I made the same argument over and over again. I made a statement and backed that up. Everyone else made feelings and didn't back any else up.
What
No.
feelings?
I didn't
have
write
to
feelings.
feel
I have objective experience with writing stories. I have objective experience being a critic of said stories. Whatever the author of that story decides to put on screen, that is the product that you get. And you
I'm
can
not
say you didn't like it. You can
not saying
disagree. Not
It's true.
shut up. You can say you didn't like it. You can
Take
say-
turns, guys. Just take turns.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
You
Brian.
can say that it's bad, but you can't sit here and then say that the story itself broke its own rules when the rules for Dragon Ball were never set. That never had any concrete rules. It has very loose, soft magic system, versus compared to something with Naruto that has a harder system, and something about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood that has an even harder magic system. They are objective rules in the way that those characters can interact with their world, but there is no
Hey,
such objectivity in Dragon Ball in any of the Dragon Balls.
I'll give you that they have maybe a softer system, but the fact that
Bigger wasp.
lots of people can just say the words "the power system doesn't make sense" still means that they believe there was some kind of system that DBZ followed for a good while until just now.
It followed
Sure.
it for one season.
sure,
Dragon Ball Z was how long?
It followed
Sure.
it for the Science
One
Saga.
season?
we all read comics here, right?
Yeah.
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 There's no rules in comics.
Not I.
No, comics work for soft reboots
Comics
and
don't
whatnot.
have rules. They
Wait,
don't.
are you including manga as well, Tay?
Yeah. Well, not manga, but no, comics do not have rules.
Have different writers,
Mm,
though?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it's still set in the same universe.
Dragon
No.
Ball really just sticks to one
It's
franchise?
no. The Marvel is a great example. It's one universe. It's the same universe since the '60s. It never
But wait,
changed.
there's like
But it's
seven
different
different
writers.
titles for
Just
one hero, though.
but Brian's saying is like depends on the writer. And like if I can say Spider-Man is black, the next issue I can make him white. There was no rule for that.
Yeah, but they're two different stories with two different Spider-Man.
No, but it's set in the same universe. He's playing by universe logic. Well, that's what Brian was arguing earlier. Toriyama didn't set any rules for the universe.
Okay, you guys are not really arguing whether the stories.
No,
You're arguing whether these niggas can do whatever they want. I have
they can. Depends on the writer.
Or Toriyama can slap his dick on Goku's face and say, "Hey, this is how this story is." Accept that.
Yeah, I can't argue him with that. I didn't say it was cool though, but I can't argue with that. That's his story.
I can't argue with him doing random stuff. I can argue how it was presented and executed.
Yeah, you don't like it, but that's his story. You can't argue against his story. You don't have to like it though.
I'm not arguing whether he owns the story. I'm arguing that it's bad. Why y'all guys are getting those two things confused? It doesn't matter if Toriyama owns it.
But there is
still say it should.
the thing that I think that this is where the argument starts becoming not an argument on good faith when it comes to art. And this is this is a big problem with criticism in general. It's that people that consume a source of media become proprietors of that media. They believe that they have ownership of that media. And the criticism no longer becomes, was that story good or was that story bad? The criticism becomes, that story didn't do what I wanted it to do or what I would have liked for it to do.
And that's a big problem today.
And so not done. And so when you get that mixed up with the critiques of shows like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, a lot of people have over the years, because it's such a long franchise, over the years developed this weird headcanon about what is appropriate for the series to do and not to do. And then when the show counterattacks that, a lot of these people get upset and call the show bad. Now, whether the story for Super is good or bad depends on two things. What was Toriyama's goal for the story? Was it to give you an overarching cosmic threat plot, or was it to give you an avenue for a bunch of this really amazing, cool-looking fights that would happen with a tournament arc at the center? If you're taking Avenue 1, where you're saying that the cosmic threat of Dragon Ball was the point, then the story is going to be bad, because that wasn't the goal that Toriyama set out to be, so it's not going to meet up to it. The goal that Toriyama set was to create a backdrop where we could introduce multiple characters, introduce a stronger set of Dragon Balls, and introduce a new form for Goku and Vegeta for them to be stronger later on when the next big baddie comes. It is a tournament arc. It is the same tournament arc that's in My Hero Academia. So Dragon Ball Super,
there you go, Ty.
It set up everything. Dragon Ball Super achieved the goal that it wanted, and it did it well, because now we know pieces of information that we would not have known had all the power levels and all the characters had gotten the dramatic training scene that we so desire to keep continuity in mind. Super is not a end all be all for the season. It is a setup. And for the later arc, which is the Momo arc, which now includes Goku and Vegeta fighting with the strongest forms against the big baddie. If we get out of our minds and say that Super was a story to show you a cosmic threat, then Super is a good story because it achieved its goals.
But what if it was just to make money because people like the franchise? Like,
That
That's
is
every
all-
product, Gabby.
never
That's
planned to come back and do the story.
Gabby. That's
So,
every product out
A
there.
lot of shows
Yeah.
did that lately.
That's
Question.
literally everything out there.
Yeah.
Who here knows Toriyama personally?
No one.
So
I do. I saw him last weekend.
Yeah, I had lunch with him the other day.
Yeah, I had sushi with him. He's a nice dude.
Yeah, she texted me last night. What about him?
Hold on. While I was on my
He wanted, he wanted my opinion on whether like Dragon Ball GT was good or not.
Bad.
Which I think that
I
Dragon Ball
agree.
GT gets a lot of shit. I enjoy Dragon Ball GT.
Oh, Lord.
And
Who did
Oh
you watch?
God.
I think
Well-
they tried at least to do some of the Dragon Ball shit, but it was mixed mostly.
Here's
But-
sorry. Okay, I finished my whole diatribe about the goal of the series, but we don't need to know Toriyama personally for us to understand the goal of the series because the super manga is still going.
Makes sense. You're
Is
giving
it?
me
The
two
what?
options. No
The
one
super
knows.
manga is still going, and we know that the Tournament of Arc was kind of a setup for a more cross-dimensional baddie. Like we just, like
But all these things don't uniquely make the writing better or good. I mean, honestly, one thing is just you setting me up for less hopes. Like, is everyone's whole thing with this is just I should expect less from Toriyama?
no.
Basically.
What I'm saying is that you should not have any
I'm
expectations and then
expecting anything.
consume the show
Like a
on
low
at face value. Consume media at face value.
consume it. It
No,
had
no, no,
worse
no.
animation at
You
times.
consumed it with your expectations in mind. You consumed it with what you think the show needs, but you didn't consume it at face value. You didn't consume it for what
As
it is. You consumed it for what you think it should be.
You cannot tell me how I consume.
I actually can because I am a
Toriyama backstory.
I am a media critic. I have been a critic of media for 5+ years.
I've been critiquing people for my whole life.
People, not stories.
And stories. I've been doing this shit for as long, about basically as long as y'all know me, and way before then.
But you have not thought about the intricacies of how people relate to their media, about why some media is objectively bad but culturally good, about why some media is culturally bad but objectively good. You're not seeing the
But didn't
nuances
he
of
just give
media.
you examples of that though?
I mean,
Yeah.
I just wasn't educated enough to critique him.
For example, the movie Gumbo by Harmony Korine, which is a movie that I suspect that not a lot of you have seen because I hate it. It's a bad movie. It is objectively bad, and no one can tell me otherwise. But that it's not because the movie accomplishes everything that Harmony Korine wants to accomplish. So I got to give him credit for that. The subjectivity of my disenjoyment of that film comes from the fact that the way that it looks and the way that the performances are crafted are not optimized standards of like enjoyment. But that movie is bad, but culturally good because that movie is significant to the culture of cinema as an independent film from the 1970s or maybe the 90s that expanded upon what could be done in a film.
Okay.
So it's good for what it did
Yeah.
outside of being a movie itself. I see what you're saying.
Another
Yeah.
example is
Dragon Ball Super is high. Its actual quality is low, though.
no, disagree.
At this point, I'm feeling I'm still right at this point because
No.
this isn't an argument about whether Super is good. It hasn't even been lined
You're
out yet.
stubborn. I'm not going to win the argument on whether you think Super. I'm not going to convince you that Super is good
That's
because
what this
like,
was about. If we
no,
was
no, no,
talking
no, no, no.
about
This-
feel about their work, I can
That's never the argument when you say that Super is good. When you start an argument and you say this is bad, and there's no way that this is good, you're not saying change my mind about the subject. You're not saying that you're flexible to that. You're saying my expectations are so dead set on this piece of media that nothing you can say can prove me wrong. And
Guys
that
have
is
not a
that is
single
what is wrong.
by anyone has said Super is good for any reason other than it was fun.
I literally gave
had
you
great-
a diatribe about why I think Super was a successful franchise.
He did give you one.
I
He
gave
didn't
you-
like it though.
I gave you a whole monologue. I gave you a whole monologue about why I think that Super succeeded.
Toriyama's goals that we can't possibly fathom.
You don't need to know Toriyama to know the goals of the shows.
But that's my point. I don't need to know any of his shit to claim his thing. The thing he gave me didn't taste good. If a chef brings me a plate of food and I don't know his backstory, I can still say that shit. If you shoot
Anime
me with perfect
media
food,
is not food.
I can still say you did a bad shot.
Media is not. You
Wait,
are
hang on. What is happening? Be on
I
topic.
have no idea
by
what's going on.
shifting the language of the conversation to make it more objective than it really is. There is no objectivity in media. There is none. Absolutely none. Everything about this, there is none.
Because you get taught it that you can't. There's no absolutes. If you can be taught something, there's some objective work to
No,
things.
no. There is technical objectivity. There is technicality in how you manufacture a product. There is technicality in how you draw. That is an objective task. But within that objectiveness, between that technicality of how you make a product alive, there is boundless subjectivity. And like Kill la Kill, for example, I hate Kill la Kill because of its visual style.
Mhm.
But I cannot call Kill la Kill visually bad.
Thank you.
Because all of those people are doing a great job at getting the aesthetic for the story that they are serving.
Thank you.
I'm not arguing Killer. Like that's the thing. Killer Kill, I get it's a 10. It doesn't look like they fucked up when they
Kill la
animated.
Kill is an example. It's not the argument.
I mean, that's my point. I can say it doesn't look like it fucked up when they animated. Like I can see objectively what they were aiming for, even if your style is simple.
And I can see objectively what Toriyama was going for by
I can see
watching the fucking show.
bad.
Wait, what show? What'd you say at the end of that? I didn't hear you.
So I said that I can see what Toriyama intended when writing the show for Super, when writing the scripts for Super. I can see what he intended to do,
That's my
and
point.
then judge the story based on what I am seeing he is attempting to do, and determine whether he was successful or not. It's not
So-
about
You're saying that like why is Tournament of Power good? Like why do you praise him for writing the Goku Black, but Tournament of Power gets a pass because it was mostly fun? Where does his writing skill suddenly drop for everybody here?
Toriyama's writing skills lie in the ability to take characters that we have seen for years and put them against situations that are inherently interesting. Like in the Goku Black arc, when we are now convinced that there is no other person that can fight Goku after attaining godhood, who do we get to fight? Goku himself. That is an interesting contrast because it challenges our expectations about what the next baddie would be. So we didn't get another big cosmic baddie. We got someone that is evenly matching Goku's strength by virtue of sealing his own body. And then after that, how do we escalate from that? We escalate to interdimensional or cross-dimensional fights against people that are potentially stronger than Universe 7 because Universe 7 is at its infancy in comparison to the other universes. We learn more cosmic threats. We learn about more cosmic events that happen that were previously unknown to the watcher. So now the stakes for Super grow exponentially.
That's why I like Battle of Z so much, the movie Battle of Gods. Because
Yeah.
Beerus literally points like, hey, you're not the strongest one you think you are.
Right.
And there's some more worlds out there. There's
So
more
hard.
things to overcome.
Simple.
Toriyama is amazingly good.
An hour, 30 minutes of writing.
Did you prefer Battle of Gods over the episode version of it?
Yeah, I think the episode's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Episodes of
It's pointless. It's pointless. Yeah. But that's one reason that I prefer the other Z movies they did. Yeah, even Broly prefer Battle of Gods because I just like the fact that because we all grew up with the expectation Goku's the strongest freaking character.
Right.
That we come out and it's different from a normal villain. Beerus is like, hey, there's more worlds out here. You got more to go.
It's just the same thing. He's a long character. Of course, you would think he was strong now. There's not many characters who've had long careers you don't believe are strong or going to win. Daredevil is a street level hero who I never doubt is going to win a fight.
That's
Like,
Daredevil.
That's my point. Like those are just long careers. You cannot ignore that even as a writer, no matter how much you doing things. Like it's
Sure,
fine if you want to just willy-nilly do whatever you want, but that's not my point. Like to drop everything Goku does randomly and then say this is good despite it not referencing any of the shit that would make this make a little bit more sense.
But he does reference those things.
Yeah, from time to time, and then you guys excuse when he does it.
No, we don't. We don't excuse it. We acknowledge that he forgot about the tails, and then the tails are no longer a thing. Like
he didn't want to draw no more. Yeah,
the Narasu forms. Yeah. But I acknowledge that he forgot about that. But if he doesn't want to draw it no more, he doesn't want those forms in the stories, then I have no choice but to accept that.
Yeah,
he doesn't want them in the story.
He literally does Super Saiyan 3. It's a waste of energy. That's why they don't barely use it anymore.
Yeah. And then the critiques that are happening about the story of Super are made by people that watch the cool moments, but they don't invest or find out the information that is happening between the moments. Like Dragon Ball Z is a very character-heavy anime.
Wait, Shaw, go ahead. Say it again. Say it all again. I didn't hear you.
I said all those jackasses know those random small things. These fans who apparently ruin these stories spend their time figuring out all that bullshit. They have a lot more devotion to these stories than half the people making criticism on them. Even
but it's not the responsibility of the writer to educate you on the franchise.
No, that's the thing. They seem more educated than Toriyama is. If they know his story more than him,
they literally can be more educated than Toriyama.
Yeah,
that's his story.
You can. Because Toriyama didn't say, hey, this is something else completely done over. Fuck all of Goku's past shit. He said, this is a continuation of the stuff I did before. If he didn't say that, if he set the stakes before, he makes all these mistakes and then people will try to make excuses for him later.
We criticize him fairly for forgetting those things.
But those are my criticisms. He doesn't
do a lot. Your criticism is that you didn't like the choices he made.
He lacked consistency. He didn't make any good choices. What choices did he make that suddenly impressed everyone that was different from the choices he made in his previous? The big bad guy gets blown away. What changed?
What do you mean? What changed? It's the fucking formula for Dragon Ball Z. It's the same formula that we've been having since Dragon Ball started.
That's my point. It's the same framework. Like, if you're going to ignore, if you can represent that framework honestly. And
I feel like I'm going crazy.
Me too.
Shaw, just, I guess, in here, but what Brian's saying is where he prays with Toriyama. What you just said is true. Big bad guy comes, literally every showing. But what Brian's saying is Toriyama has a way to make it different in a way.
To make it
get more we've seen this countless times, but he's making you watch it, right? You're curious. And he's doing that.
Where did he slightly make it different? Prove that. Prove that.
Right. He didn't make it different. That's not what I'm fucking saying.
Are you mad at me?
I'm literally saying the opposite. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. It's just that I say a thesis, and then you replace my thesis with your reality.
Oh my! I don't have a reality. This is the fucking reality.
But the argument that's going on is that Bri is saying that the author is subverting the audience's expectations for what they want to see, and that's what makes it good because the author is doing this. And the audience is still going for the bait.
Every single time, Ethan.
Yeah.
And he's winning every single time.
Hurting your expectations on purpose.
Sure. As long as you click that Dragon Ball Super link to watch the next episode, Toriyama is winning.
And you can't blame him for that. That's you. That's all on you.
Fair.
Uh,
Did you finish it, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, so Toriyama is winning as long as I'm watching, but does it make any of my criticism go?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make
It
your
doesn't.
criticisms invalid. What I'm saying about your criticism is that they're coming from the wrong place of criticism. You don't critique culture based on your expectations. You don't critique media based on your expectations. You critique media based on what it attempted to do and whether or not it succeeded.
No,
When you critique media based on your expectations, you are being unfair to the creator of that media and to the media itself, because the media
true.
will never live up to your expectations. The media will have to stand up by its own terms. When you judge it by what you're expecting it to do, you are taking the opportunity for that media to shine in its own ecosystem.
Not only that, it's like we've known Toriyama for like his writing for 30 years. Why are you still arguing about it? You don't like it, let it go.
If you don't like my movie, don't watch it.
No, I mean I'm not. Yeah, I'm saying like we know Toriyama's a simple writer. He's proven that for 30 years straight.
Okay.
And I get Shaw's argument. He wants a modern Dragon Ball, but that's not Toriyama's style. And just let it go if he's not going to do it.
What is that? Consistency, not bullshit he pulled out of his ass and all y'all called it fine because Toriyama. That's it.
You can make the same. The thing is that you can make the same argument with Bleach. You can make the same argument with Naruto. You can.
Lose literally everything. Actually, it depends on the writer. The writer is king. He can do whatever he wants.
You can make that same argument with Naruto. Let's play this out. Let's play this out. Naruto started as a Jinchuriki. He was the only Jinchuriki. As the scales escalated in Naruto, we started seeing more and more Jinchuriki that operated on different power levels, different power systems. And then the 8 Tails was not a strong Jinchuriki, but he beat Naruto, the 9 Tail Jinchuriki, which was inherently stronger. The 2 Tails can go head to head with the 8 Tails. And we don't call that bad writing.
He's right.
Because we don't.
No, he's saying it's no one challenges Naruto as they challenge Dragon Ball. Is what he's saying. They're the same arguments.
The whole context is still all these arguments. The 8 Tails won because Naruto was poorly trained. The 2 Tails and the 1 Tails all showed up at the same fucking time.
I'm going to shit in my hand and clap.
But the 9 Tails, Brian, the Jordan, means the 9 Tails is the strongest one.
Yes.
So by your definition of power level,
when the 9 Tails worked together, they washed all of them. So all your arguments were just invalid by a very poorly written show because you chose
Naruto and fucking Kyuubi have been working together since Jiraiya fucking died, and Naruto got washed plenty of fucking times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question. When did he actually gain control of Kyuubi's power then?
He synced with Kurama.
He stole that power.
Near the end. Near the end is when when he synced with Kurama. And even then, Naruto didn't have a challenge because he was friends with everybody. Nobody else fought Naruto because he was friends with everybody.
The goal of this writer to show you that friends and bonds is the most important thing?
That's the same thing with Dragon Ball Z and Super. That is literally the thesis for Dragon Ball.
If it's okay, you can't criticize Naruto for that shit. It's your.
I'm not. I'm literally not. I am saying that the arguments that you are placing for Dragon Ball Super are arguments that apply to Naruto as well. The execution of Naruto is a shonen anime where the main character starts off lonely and weak and becomes a fucking god.
Well, to be fair, Goku was already stronger than everybody. Oh, God.
How does that matter?
Because those are the slight differences between
there's structurally there is very little difference between Naruto.
This is not gonna end, isn't it? This is never gonna end.
No.
I'm 49 minutes into the recording.
Oh my god.
It's been like an hour.
I
am starting to get sick and tired of me.
Yeah, I think the problem is we're making valid points. It's you two got to accept.
You guys are like playing counter trap cards as it goes down.
I'm going to end it by saying that I consider your viewpoint on media criticism has to be exhaustive and not in good faith for the media that you're consuming.
How about this? Everybody has their own opinions.
Thank you, Isaac.
There you
No,
go.
that's what they've been doing. That's what Brian stated that.
No, wait. They just call me on at this point. I'm a cheater.
No, I said in good faith.
Brian did make a lot of good points though. Like people, and not saying Shaw was one of them, but
He
people.
made good points. Shaw make good points.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm ended here with Brian saying it's like Brian. Okay, stop.
Starting like the 2020 debate.
I would just say nerds are very entitled. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an entitlement with storytelling
Nerds.
that is unparalleled to anyone in nerd culture.
Yeah.
And it is a problem for media criticism. Now, I'm not saying you're engaging with that thought all the way, but I am saying that there is a correct way to criticize media and then a poorly constructive way to do so. And I believe that the way that you're engaging with media is the poorly constructive way. That is it.
No.
And we're done. Stop. Enough. Enough. Listen to Gabby. We're done. We're done. Text each other later. You can have an argument later.
Insane.
Just
I was going to go
we
insane.
enough.
This is what it was like.
That
I
was
do want to say that I do appreciate like your
Yes.
opinions. Like I do
This is
like talking about it.
No, yeah, it's not. You don't hate each other, but
yeah.
No,
It's just
y'all going way too hard. Chill.
Well,
Y'all
I mean,
your corners.
You
I was
just gotta
Y'all
kiss
been
and make
arguing
up.
for an hour saying the same thing on repeat. Let it
John. John.
go. Fine.
This is an interesting topic.
it's as simple as
Yeah, I'm gonna get my energy drink.
I still want to see Bri his hand and clap, bro.
What'd you say?
I literally.
I still want to see Bri shit in his hand and clap. That was
What?
I literally got bored of the argument.
Yeah, I did like
I
20
started
minutes in.
City 2 is like, yeah, let me just.
Isaac, don't trigger me, homie.
What'd he do?
Yeah, what did I do?
Don't even talk about it no more.
Is everybody riled up right now? Take a
Oh,
dirty.
fuck up. I can throw hands.
I've been playing Xenoverse the whole time, so
That's funny. PC,
We need a new topic.
bring up one, Sean.
I saw that alert come up. Ethan
So,
is playing Xenoverse.
Wait, Sean, did you make that channel?
Thank
Did you
you.
make
Yeah.
it? Just
Yeah, I did. I sent you the link.
give me the information. I thought of. You know, I'll use it.
How about that Boruto?
That's so funny.
Timmy died. Timmy died.
Anime sucks. Get off it. Yeah.
Most of everybody here knows that bar.
See, that's the problem. We evolve ourselves with nerd culture too much. We can't think of a
Yes.
topic right now.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
We consumed ourselves in it.
I genuinely enjoy Boruto.
Yeah, there's a few.
Stop. Stop.
Sean, you got to challenge that.
I like unironically
Jesus
enjoy
Christ.
Boruto.
Stop. I don't want to hear no more either. Talk about some real world stuff. Talk about some real stuff. I don't want to talk no cartoons.
What do you want to talk about?
What?
I'm really sad that your
What's
experience
up?
The real stuff is boring.
Tay, I'm really sad that your experience with Cyberpunk sucked because I am loving this game.
Dude, fuck that game.
the only one that never got to.
What happened?
I actually like the game too.
I think no more. I don't want to go in that rabbit hole.
No.
No, I think
$30.
I think people are.
really got cucked in the beginning of Cyberpunk. Like he never.
Ethan saw it live. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's-
saw that
yeah.
shit
What
live.
happened?
It was
Ethan, I mean not
Cyberpunk.
Ethan, but I think people are not saying you guys are. Just putting that out there, but I think people are too afraid to admit to say it's a bad experience because they've been waiting so
Right.
long.
For right
They don't want to
now.
acknowledge that something's bad.
8 years.
It's okay to criticize the product, and no one wants to see that. Everywhere you go online, and people are just like people are just like defending them. After 7 years of development, and they still having issues. Not saying game supposed to be perfect. No game come out perfect, but this is absurd how it came out.
Ooh.
You know,
And
Well,
not to say that.
totally
like even CD Projekt Red was saying like, "Hey, yeah, we kind of fucked up," but everybody else isn't accepting that they fucked up.
Not only that, they delayed the game, Leon, 2 months prior to that to fix on the last gen games. The latest statement they said is, "Sorry, wasn't paying attention to those games." What does that even mean? What were you doing this 2 months?
The thing is, Tate, you say last gen as in that happened years ago. Last gen was a month ago.
Yeah, you're right, but it's still the games were developed on those consoles. But they made a statement to say that when release, we're gonna work on the last gen version, the PS4, Xbox One. The statement that recently came out, they said we wasn't paying attention to those versions of the game. That doesn't make any sense. Someone's lying here.
That doesn't. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all. That I guarantee you that all of that comes from
Witcher 3.
pressure. It comes from this pressure because Witcher 3 had a similar release situation.
For apparently, yeah, from what I heard, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
From what I
Witcher
heard,
3
yeah.
had a really bad launch and a really bad release because, and I'm not defending them, but the massive ambition that these games have lend themselves to these kinds of problems because they interact so weirdly. Every element has to interact so precisely with each other. What I think happened to Cyberpunk is the overhype caused CD Projekt Red to be in a media eye where shoddy launch is viewed as an offense to the consumer.
They might get lawsuits actually, from what I heard, for all of this.
Which I think is a little silly. I think it's a little silly, not because they didn't fuck up. I think they did fuck up.
I think it only would for like the PS4 and the previous Xbox. I forget what the last Xbox was called, but those games don't particularly function as then.
Say that again to someone.
That's mostly the issue. The game doesn't function in progress, then you basically don't get sold what you want.
But it was made for that product.
Yeah, I mean, a few bugs in an open world game is usually acceptable. Like Fallout 3 is basically the poster
Fallout
But
3 doesn't work. Skyrim doesn't work.
Yeah, they're the poster child for that kind of shit.
But that's the problem. Bethesda actually laughs that stuff off. That's a joke. We shouldn't be doing that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
it's not about the bugs itself. It's about the media pressure and the branding that are surrounding the user experience. Like I can say that my experience with Cyberpunk was not optimal, but it also wasn't bad because I didn't run into any game breaking bugs.
Yeah, and that's great. You did it. Like for me personally, like I'm playing the game. Well, at least I was playing the game at the time.
Right.
I'm hesitant to do something because the game would crash. Like should I wait this NPC to go walk first before my game blows up or something? That's ruining my experience for the game, and I just don't want to play it no more.
Which is totally like valid, and like it just makes me sad because I would like to talk to you about this game because the game is so.
The world is curious. That's
fun.
stuff I love. I love stuff like that. But it's just like stuff like the bugs and stuff. Just it's a turn off. And I paid $60 for this, and like, come on, guys, releasing like a half baked product. Sure is getting my refund.
And I think that we as consumers have to change the way that we interact with game developers and the game industry in general.
I want to make a video about that. I posted Ben Arthur. I was going to make a video like, first of how Sony does things and how will this change the development of games in the future? Because this was major. How like Sony took it off the store. We never seen this before. People getting refunds countless left and right. Even EA or Activision didn't have this level of like fallout before. So I hope this game changes the development of future games in the future. But go ahead.
And well, the fallout, I think the fallout from this game came from the overhype. I think that
That's part of it, true. Okay. Yeah.
Again, the player expectation created an environment where a bad launch is an offense to the consumer rather than like, hey, we fucked up. Here's how we can fix it.
I get that, but this is people that play CD Projekt Red, what they did with Witcher 3. People are expecting Witcher 3 levels like support and quality.
Right.
So you can't really argue that, right?
Everyone was messed up at the start too.
Yeah, but I'm saying more afterwards, like, oh, they give us free DLC, lots of updates for free, the best developers in the studios right now, and people were expecting it with 2077. We didn't get that.
I don't think that this is going to change the culture of game development. One, because it's such a publisher dominated culture, and whoever's got the funding is the one that tells you what to do. And second, because once CD Projekt Red fixes what's going on with Cyberpunk and they make the amendments that they're known to do and appease the public, everyone's going to forget about the bad launch.
No, they won't. They won't.
I want to be hopeful that they don't forget, but internet culture is going to forget once the game works, once the game is stable, it'll be remembered as a meme and nothing else, because that's the way that gamers, particularly gamers, interact with the culture of game development. They're just like, what the fuck was that?
That's how No Man's Sky, like I just talked to Isaac about it. Like No Man's Sky was awful when it first came out, but now it's a fantastic game.
But No Man's
Like,
Sky,
Brian,
Well,
God-
that nigga lied a
I
lot.
can see your point because I'm also still kind of hopeful. for
No, look, Shaw argued that. He made a point.
on that game.
I saw him. He lied.
No
a lot.
Man's Sky
Oh.
is an excuse for developers to release an unfinished game.
Yeah.
The how the AI and stuff, how it generates stuff.
Yeah. No Man's Sky released and got the same level of hate and sort of persecution right now that Cyberpunk 2077 is getting. I mean, they were all over the headlines for 3 months. They offered refunds. It got pulled off. I don't know if it got pulled off.
No, they didn't
Steam
get.
for a
No
while.
one got pulled off before. This Cyberpunk was the first one ever.
But I mean, No Man's Sky got the same cultural hate that Cyberpunk 2077 did.
Yeah,
The
but
only
they're
difference,
worse. They lied. They straight up said a lot of shit was in the game that wasn't in it.
that's
At
what I'm
least their
saying.
poster boy is.
But now we forget about No Man's Sky. Now it's a good game, and we're forgetting about the fact that a whole development company just straight up lied to us.
I hope no one forgets Bethesda's fuck ups. I really
No,
want them to
people
figure that
always forgive them because that's their little special trait is the bugs.
They brand
That's
doesn't-
them.
Being buggy is not an excuse for a shitty game.
But that's how. What's that guy's
overall,
name? He laughs it off. What's that guy's name? The
fucking
head.
Todd Howard.
Yeah, Todd. He laughs that mess off. That's their little quirk for them,
Yeah, but
and it shouldn't be normalized.
like I like Bethesda. I did at least before Fallout 4 kind of fucked it up. I waited for that game for so long, but yeah, like I think like I don't mind bugs in open world games. I just think they shouldn't destroy your experience. You know what I mean? I don't care when people freak out that like geometry was fucked up once or twice here, because that's gonna happen. No one can
It's an open
go.
world game.
Yeah, and no one can figure out every little thing
No.
that's gone wrong. But if there's bugs galore, you have every right to complain about that.
But I'm buying the product too, though. So
No, I'm saying like a little bit of bugs might be fine. Like even Witcher 3, like Witcher 3, at least when I played it, didn't have that many bugs. I'd at least didn't get it on opening day like everyone else. So I got it, I guess, when it was better polished. It didn't have a lot of bugs. Cyberpunk, yeah, it's got a few bugs. I can't.
not a few's a lot. Just like if you even get like over 8 megabytes of saved data, the game gets corrupted. That's ridiculous.
Seriously?
Yes, that's the thing. You can look at it everywhere. You go over like the limit of saved data, it corrupts itself.
But I agree with. See, the thing is, I agree with Brian that the game is probably overhyped because The Witcher 3 is like game of the year renowned and shit. But honestly, my only thing is I know CD Projekt Red like crunches their workers. So I mean, if you're gonna fucking make people work like over hours and shit, you might as well get a good game out of it.
And what sucks about that, Shaw, is that the developers didn't like what was happening behind the scenes. That sucks. They've been telling like this isn't going to go well, and the corporate above them like, hey, release the product now because we need money. The problem is we need to let artists do the art. Stop interfering with them the creative decision. Let them do what they need to do. You just the guy that knows the money and all that
That's not
mess.
gonna happen unless
Sadly,
artists are
yeah.
the ones who control the finance.
Sadly, yeah, that's the case, which sucks.
It's always the investors that push this shit out early.
Yeah, that
Well,
sucks.
basically, you need like a Hideo Kojima type guy. Like you need someone who was a developer who eventually like, well, you know, a creator who eventually got into like a good position at the point. I mean, I don't particularly like Death Stranding all that much, but I do at least like the idea.
You said that. He did that. You sighed.
Whose side?
Gabrielle.
What about?
What's going on, guy?
No, I've just had to defend Death Stranding so much.
Oh, that's right. Brian's we talk about this in the podcast.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to get into
I
that.
heard so much hate in that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just think it's such a good game, and nobody agrees with me, man.
But
It's
I don't-
pretentious, dude, but I respect your opinion.
Brian, it's
Thank you,
not
Brian.
like that. It's not like that.
But I haven't played it, so
Haven't played it, so
Me and Kojima have like a love-hate relationship. So
I genuinely think Kojima is a fucking genius.
He needs to do movies. I
Yeah,
say.
he does. He does. He needs to make a movie with Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, that's
I think
perfect.
if Kojima didn't have the restriction of trying to make money,
Oh, dude,
then
he'd be fucking solid.
yeah,
I just
mean he'd be a
I think his
regular artist,
projects
like
would
wannabe.
go a lot well. Well, I mean, not even because all artists have to make money to not die.
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, I hope Cyberpunk's the effect of Cyberpunk somehow, and it probably won't change the industry in a certain way. Make these big developers like think before you release the product. Hope they don't experience the downfall that Cyberpunk did.
It's not gonna happen because they still make money even if they don't.
I think
And people, because
that,
people buy things, they
I
gotta.
think-
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say, but I think that is going to happen if we get a couple more AAA titles of this stature do the same fuck up.
Yeah.
True.
I think we need a recent and consistent pattern, like we did with loot boxes, over a certain period of time, in order for developers to start reeling back on it. I think that like Cyberpunk happening, it really sucks, but it's not going to affect the culture unless like another Cyberpunk level of bad shows up the next year and the next year after that.
It would take something like Final Fantasy VII to mess up royally like this. I think it would be something like that for the culture.
Final Fantasy VII?
No, I think something more like Call of Duty.
I don't like.
You don't think it would be like
Fantasy, but Square Enix be doing some solid work. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think it's something like
saying.
Call of Duty or
Like, if
something. It's a
someone
bigger
like
IP.
them messed up like that.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
think
that
it would
makes sense.
actually.
Yeah. We need to get like whatever the next installment of Final Fantasy VII remake needs to be, like disgustingly buggy, and
Who wants to break
you
into
mean
Square Enix?
Yeah,
And push E in the wrong code file and mess up the entire game.
Yeah. It has to be that bad.
Is EA still calling loot boxes surprise mechanics?
No.
Oh god, I forgot about
Yes,
that.
yes, they
I
are.
mean, they are still calling it that way, but they're no longer implemented in the game, so it's strongly as they used to be. Yeah.
They lost that court case.
And
Oh,
you know,
they really did. I didn't hear. I heard like you couldn't fucking like. I couldn't get any information on it for like a good minute. So I just, like, gave up after a while.
Inside Gaming did a good research on that and kept up to date with it. So,
Yeah. It's literally illegal now to call them anything other than like what they are, which is gambling in some countries.
yeah, they're paying like millions in dollars now to like I think Europe or something like that, wherever that case was.
I think it was Denmark.
Yeah.
Well, EA was stupid in that case because Europe told them to stop something, and they just was like, "No, fuck you."
They're not stupid. They were still making money.
because people buy products, they think they have to buy it.
Yeah, it's still happening in the States and the United States.
They were preying on compulsory gamers. That's what they were.
Yeah, they got sued for that, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's what the lawsuit was for. The lawsuit
Yeah.
was for not
Gambling.
labeling a gambling mechanic as gambling.
Yeah.
It's what a lot of mobile games do too. They just find consumers that spend the most amount of money and then cater to them.
There's a lot of children that click buttons, don't realize they're pushing, be paying like hundreds of dollars credit card.
Well, not even that. It's like if there's someone in Brazil who pays like $10,000 on a mobile game, they'll make Brazilian products because they know that one specific person is going to buy them.
They're whales.
Like
That's
no,
right.
it's that in depth.
It's just they really are tracking all of your consumer data, and they make a decision based off of that. And if you're a gambler, they're going to target those mechanics.
Extort
right.
you.
There are cases literally where if you are a person that buys something that costs real money, they will make the game more difficult for you for a period of time to get you to buy the next thing, and then they make the game easier for you so that you feel like buying that thing gave you the satisfaction that you needed, and then they make the game harder again, and they keep you in the loop, so you keep buying the product.
Remember the Mortal Kombat thing? We can buy the fatalities.
Oh, that fucking shit, yo.
That made me angry.
That was so disgusting. Easy fatalities for 20.
Easy fatalities.
Like, it just ruined the game, man.
And there's people buying it.
Like Goro was on the disc and you had to pay for him. He was clearly a payable character. You had to pay for his ass.
Or
So
like
was
they did it
Ray
with
at one time.
they tried to do it for Sonic Forces with like by Supersonic. For 20 years straight, this character was easy to unlock. Now you want to put him by the paywall?
Sonic Forces. They made you
Yeah.
pay for Supersonic.
They as soon as they heard the outcry, they made it free, but they tried to make you pay for Supersonic, something you could get for free like for 20 years straight.
I thought
'Cause
Supersonic
people
fucked
will-
up, like story reasons and shit or something.
No, for like Dawn Ejector, that used to be a free thing, but now after that they made it behind the paywall. Same with like I would argue like Xenoverse 1 when they made Super Saiyan 4 DLC. When past games he was unlockable.
Spider-Man screaming no. Who did it? Show him.
What? What?
What'd you say?
Oh, I love this video.
No. Oh, Evangelion.
That a suit?
I remember. I remember
Make it-
funny shit when I was making fun of Evangelion and Dre was telling me it was good, and I came up with a reason why it was good. but
Dude, I tried like 3 times and fell asleep on all of them. I can't
No,
finish
so
that show.
boring.
Evangelion it's good. You should watch it actually.
I tried the movies and anime. I just gave
tried.
up.
Yeah, I tried. I can't.
Like I think they
It
do
is
have some
hard.
good allegories, but I don't know.
I think even
not
Jelly
even-
falls in the trap of being pretentious.
It really
It is. He just says because it looks cool. It doesn't mean anything. Like the
Just watch-
symbolism and stuff.
watch the 5-minute live action I posted. That's all you need to watch to understand.
That is that comedy or just like
It's up in meme and chat. Just scroll up a little bit.
I remember like looking up like I think Kazar was there. Like what's the backstory and like these 2 aliens or something?
Evangelion's
Evangelion?
backstory is so it's like randomly hard to explain.
They lay
I'm pretty
eggs on planets or
sure
something else. I don't.
Shinji's mom is his fucking robot.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that too. Yeah, isn't the daughter the girl clone her too?
Yeah, and like the daughter fools with her or some shit. It's really gross and weird. I
Someone
know.
said my name. What's up?
Shinji, get in the robot.
When am I planning on joining who?
What?
The party thing.
Oh, that's Gabby. I just add everyone for her so everyone can see it.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, you feel like a god when you do that. I'm thank you. Going to
I added
party.
When, Gabby?
Hey everyone.
Dude, I love that function. I feel like a fucking god. Tag everybody.
Assemble.
Great. Now Shaw's gonna do everyone.
God. Come in.
In it.
You feel like a god?
Ozzy, what's going on with your life, man? Let's go something interesting.
Oh, my life?
Yeah.
Trying to get a new
What's something
job.
interesting that happened?
I
Where you work at?
I really, I'm trying to get a new job. That's all.
Where?
Where are you trying to work?
Probably a distributions workplace in Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Or go
Dude,
back to rough housing.
I will tell you because they always doing instant. Do Amazon. Right, hire on the spot.
Amazon?
Yeah, they do it. You get hired about 2 days later.
It kind of.
I heard Amazon was garbage to work at.
Yeah, it's not a good job.
Yeah,
but
they
it's-
treat you like a slave.
That was me at FedEx.
Basically, that's a big
Like
factory
doing
job.
modern day slave,
2 years.
just working at Amazon's warehouse.
Wait, Leon,
I'll never forget the story that Ethan told me.
what was the story?
Ethan, you worked there, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I was at FedEx 2 years ago. It sucked.
Yeah, I heard FedEx sucked too. I was thinking about
Yeah.
working at FedEx. People were telling me it sucked eggs. I was like, damn.
I had 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. shifts and
Oh,
made me get in a car accident.
Wasn't it because like FedEx and the PS or whatever, they're trying to compete against Amazon or something like
Yeah.
that?
You know what's interesting is the Prime shift. It's like, how did that? Are these people being overworked? Amazon Prime people?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. All
How
that
do you
shit's
No,
like
'cause-
instant delivery
Shit,
shit,
you
right?
guys so quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
now
that's what
they
I'm
got
saying.
1-day shipping. I'm like,
It's instant. Like how? Yeah, exactly.
They got same day shipping
Yeah.
sometimes, dude.
Yeah, you're making someone's life horrible. Aren't you a bad person?
yeah.
Like no one here uses Prime. Yeah, exactly. Ty is one of them. Exactly. Ain't gonna blame me here. Prime is fantastic, but the workers, I feel sorry.
hey,
Prime is
if this
fantastic.
piece- If this piece
But-
of anime merch is available today,
The instant call.
Saying I can get this at
Hi,
$8,
these are good reasons.
I'm paying for it.
I'll afford you that right now. These are horrible, horrible reasons.
We're all
Humans are
hard.
selfish. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you tired. You better get my fuck you know
Wait,
hero
there's
pill
like
to me today.
there's actually a
Well, that's
story
too damn
where
bad.
like a lady died in Amazon and the workers still had to work around her dead body.
Yep.
Nah, I don't believe that. Is that true? That's
that
true.
actually happened. That actually
Yeah.
happened.
Someone posted that shit on Facebook. They said,
They,
"Yo,
Her
that
body's like
Her
rolling
dead
on the thing.
body?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's messed up,
they
dude.
kept the body in the warehouse and they told people to work.
They blowing the whistle. Just work over it. We get it.
Over the
talking
court.
about Ellen
Yeah.
DeGeneres? Were you about to bring her?
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't she like really ignorant?
I heard about Ellen, how she was garbage behind the scenes too.
Some of those shits are funny where people had to like, breath mints before they talk to her. Like,
Oh, Brad, how do you like that?
Mm.
I was
Oh,
like,
dude, that's fucking awesome, dude.
oh man,
Ellen.
I like it.
We live in a
much better
town where we
than-
cancel the Ellen. What a town we live in.
I
Have you
want
played
that
it?
much.
Here, let me stream it.
But
please.
What, y'all?
stream what? What we got?
Rogue Legacy.
What's Rogue Legacy?
That's a
Oh, I had
it's
this
a
on my
cute little platformer game. It's really nice.
I had this on my PS4.
Dude, the
What's coming
graphics
out?
look so nice.
Is this a new one? I don't remember looking like this.
It came out. It's in early access.
Oh, this is the newest one?
Motherfucker looks like
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the original one on PS4.
Beta
Yeah,
It's
Bill,
different. What's up, oh,
Beta Bill Ray, right?
what about him?
Isn't that him?
No.
No. I see. It doesn't.
Everyone knew who that was. I thought Taylor
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, me too. Like,
I don't know who that is at all.
Oh,
Better
he's
Ray
just
Bill.
like horse-looking Asgardian. Well, actually,
Yeah.
he's not even an Asgardian. He's like an alien or something.
adorable horse, alien thing.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
I ain't even heard that name in a long time. At any rate.
I still watch Planet Hulk from time to time when he get his ass stomped in.
I didn't like that. What? Okay.
No, I like the shit out of that.
Yeah, of course you did.
I
I didn't like that.
it was weird that everyone made like an exception for him only. It was okay when Hulk killed the fucking animals and the robots that were apparently alive or some shit. But Beta Ray Bill, you don't have to kill him. Like, why is everyone so horrified?
Oh, Better Ray Bill. Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
You seen him? You at least seen him before.
Yeah, he's like the lizard, right?
No,
Okay.
he's a horse. He's just like some horse alien.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck goes on.
His backstory is stupid. Don't worry.
What's his backstory?
He showed up out of nowhere and was able to wield Mjolnir and thought Thor wasn't worthy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
John, you shouldn't have better Ray Bill, right? No.
Shit.
He should. I made him watch Planet Hulk once. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I think that's what he's most famous
I'm
from,
pretty sure
actually,
there
playing the
was a
Hulk.
video that
Yeah.
we were watching about it.
What? Really? I could've
Yeah, I
seen
think
it.
so.
I know how old fucking Planet Hulk. Right?
It's on Netflix, I believe.
Please die.
Unless Marvel has on Disney Plus now. So.
Please die.
These are my type of game series. Then
Treasure chat.
Dog shit out of Beta Ray Bill.
You good, Kazar?
Hmm?
You good?
Yeah.
You sleepy?
No, I was just excited for your discovery of treasure.
Oh, thank you.
You ever play what is it, Dragon's Boy? I think it's called.
Me?
Something like this. Not any of you guys.
No, I don't think so.
Question: who here played Demon Souls?
I have it.
I can't. Like, I don't
wanna
have a
get into
PS5,
it.
so.
Can someone
What about?
tell me?
Say it again.
Is it good or what? I'm kind of interested.
Yeah,
in the whole-
it's a Souls game.
Yes, it's good.
I don't
Why
like
y'all all
Bloodborne.
say it like that? Like y'all about to set me up? What is it?
I mean, is that if you want
It's a Souls game.
very hard
You
game,
know
you
Yeah.
will die so many times. And by all
Just-
means.
I don't mind dying as long as like I feel like it was fair.
Yeah, it is fair.
It depends on you. Yeah.
Sekiro, haven't you?
Play it, bitch. You won't.
I'm stuck on the second boss. I beat the first boss. Second boss, I'm stuck.
Yeah, I guess you'll be fine then.
Sekiro is a really
Like
fantastic
Sakurai,
game.
but fucking Dre always doesn't finish his fucking games and then asks me to play them. He did that shit with Dead Space. He kind of was like, "Yo, I can't get past this level." I help him, and then he never takes control of that.
Dude, that's
Yeah, you doing
basically
a platform.
a game to play through.
Is
all
it a
the
hard
Dead
game?
Space games. Star.
Oh, look,
No,
a third-person game, right? That's
Dead
it.
Space is
Yeah.
good.
you can
Dead
take
Space
it
is really good, but it's also not the easiest game to get through.
It's Dead Space 1 and 2 the best. 3 is shitty.
3 is the easiest one.
But that's
3 was more
probably-
action-based, right? From what I
they
heard.
tried to turn it
Yeah.
into a horror shooter, and they ruined what the guys were originally working on. It's sad.
They didn't ruin it. They just took it a different direction, and it wasn't great.
Yeah.
We'll go with Brian's version.
Yeah, you got that right, you will.
Nice to you.
Jesse.
Still heated.
We will always fight, Brian. Always.
Always.
Love
That's
you.
because your opinions on media are weird.
Hey,
Day and night. Let's look at the game here, guys.
Don't worry, Tay. I'm not gonna start shit. I'm just pushing for off.
Sorry, what was this game again?
Rogue Legacy 2.
Demon Souls.
Dude, I would love a Demon. Fuck, I would love a Demon Souls game like this.
That's Mega Man and Ninja
Hollow
Gaiden.
Knight? Isn't that Hollow Knight?
That's true. That's
Play
true.
Ninja Gaiden on the NES. Game would destroy
Right.
you.
Dude, I tried on the Switch. I cannot fucking get through it.
Yeah, who do we got?
I
Gravity.
wonder if Kiara finished that Hollow Knight level yet.
Dude,
I have it on my
no.
PS5. Yeah, me too. I haven't touched it
Oh
yet.
shit! I should have bought something.
That's such a good.
Brian, I think it's free right now, right? Hollow
I
Knight?
have it
Yes.
already installed. I just
Didn't touch
I
it.
got really far on it a while ago, and then I got stuck, and I don't know where the fuck I'm at.
Or
It's in my
I could like that.
backlog.
Shit, I don't want to play.
What are you guys doing for Christmas? Going out of town somewhere?
Nothing.
I got nothing.
This.
I'm going to my
Yeah.
girlfriend. I go into my parents' house with my girlfriend, and then my girlfriend's sister's house.
You met her before?
Yeah.
Alright, Brian.
I'm pretty.
You buy any
wild.
family members gifts? Buy me a gift?
I gotta
No,
get
you
something
didn't.
for my dad,
Don't
but
think of me at all, do you?
That's
Sorry, I can just get you chicken wings, and you'll be all right.
You right. Hot
Wing
wings.
wings.
What? What? You just shout it so loud. You sound ignorant.
Wing.
Stupid.
Great. I chicken like almost like every week. That's really bad.
Dude, chicken wings are fucking delicious.
Chicken and
I
rice.
miss
Top two
shouting
food of
that.
all time.
In the school hallway.
What?
Is anyone actually excited for Phase 4 of Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the new show, the new lineup.
Yeah.
I'm actually really.
I want to
I'm
see
actually
what
really excited
Fantastic
for it.
Four is. I want to see how Fantastic Four is.
It's possible for them to work if people understand those characters.
I just want to know who they're gonna cast for them.
Hope they ain't that stupid fat cast to keep saying every time.
They will probably make the Human Torch black or another minority for some reason.
Why
Or
not?
The
They're
Rock.
not meant to be.
Yeah.
Is there any point to it?
It's like, what the fuck does that matter?
Is there any point to it? Because I know
Remember-
someone's trying to pander.
Why'd you say that like it was a bad thing?
Yeah.
Because I don't like pandering.
That's not pandering. They're the first family. It can be anybody.
Yeah.
It can be anybody.
You remember when I said that your opinions about media were weird? This is what I meant.
No, we were talking about me trashing Super. You were defending a man's feelings.
So how would you introduce a black character without it being pandering?
I think
Just make them black. The PR problem is people around it. Why was adding a black character pandering? Why was adding a
also
woman
pandering.
pandering?
I think it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's normal.
Well, that's
They
why
exist.
Did you watch Black Lightning?
No, I didn't. No
Oh,
interest.
That's my point. You didn't see what,
How would
see
you do
what
that, Shaw?
actual bad intentions are going through there.
Yeah, how would
It's
Shaw
just-
introduce it? Is what I'm curious about.
Well, I think you should just, I guess, do it more natural. Maybe not make the whole thing about race if the character isn't just going to be a vehicle for random black issues that writers clearly don't understand.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think that you're.
But
I
you
think that
haven't-
you're-
You haven't seen it yet, so you're saying that
No, he's talking
I'm
about.
just
expect
going
it to
by
happen.
track record at this point. But I guess it's
That
fair that
gets me when people say like, "Oh, it's pandering because they introduce a black or a woman character or something, or a gay character, when that's like normalized nowadays.
Yeah, it's like white people
Yeah.
drawing black characters just for clout.
True, that is the case.
You will not let that go. That is
We can't argue that either.
I think you'd actually have to watch whatever media it is and see how they
handle it.
And
So
yeah,
far, they kind of fucked it over.
Yeah.
I feel like the Michael B. Jordan being the Human Torch was handled really well. I mean, the movie sucked.
No, yeah, that one's more of the movie's problem. I didn't
Holy
actually have a problem
shit.
with him.
You know what I'm talking about pandering is, Shaw? When they finally introducing Wonder Woman's sister again, all of a sudden, when she's been here the entire time. Now you want to introduce her again to the audience?
oh yeah.
Yeah, like, come on.
Watch any CW show. Supergirl story will always be
I'm talking about
her.
comics, like, why she's here all of a sudden. You have at least like 30, 40 years to introduce her.
Comics is bad. Almost all your favorite characters are just different races because they don't know how to just make individual characters anymore.
Yeah, it's like Todd McFarlane's Spawn, just black, just to shock people.
He's not even black. He's an alien. Was a demon.
No,
I don't even consider him black.
Why was everyone confused about that? I hated that.
No, because no one acknowledge him being black. He's always been in demon form forever.
Yeah,
No,
but
he's
changed him from
all
being
right. I'm not trolling, but
The wizard.
but the main character was Spawn.
is black. Yeah.
Simmons
He's
is
black, yeah.
Simmons is
But no one
black.
consider him a black character at all when they think of black characters.
I think that's weird. And
Because he's a
one of the-
demon first.
But he is.
He was
I know, I understand what you guys saying, but no one thinks of him as a black character. He's a demon first. No one thinks of him as black.
Have a good black character like that.
Yeah.
His story is mostly about an epic fantasy. It rarely brings up the fact that he is a nigga. And nobody
So
Yeah.
what is a good black character in the comic book world?
honestly, currently, I would just want one
Black Panther.
Miles
No.
Morales.
No, his movies is better than the comics. Miles is alright.
Well, I mean, are we talking about comics or just comic book characters? So that's, I guess.
I'm talking about any black media representation.
A good black character? Storm.
I think a good black character is just a good character.
Yeah,
who
that's
doesn't
true.
Need to
So
have their
Ty's like,
entire
nah, I don't
life's
think so.
identity.
Cleveland Brown.
whose identity doesn't revolve around their race.
All of Cleveland's jokes revolved around his race.
Did it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, fucking
Cleveland
hell,
was
Kamala.
it's not good.
I know about a Jewish guy, but I don't remember Cleveland being
Kamala
this.
guy's
Oh, he's the
retarded.
black guy. Yeah, it's kind of sucks.
The show again, you'll see.
Yeah, it's not.
Isn't his friends hillbillies basically?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's like a bear, hillbilly,
I think
white guy,
when,
white short guy.
really to say racist shit to Cleveland every once in a while.
Yeah,
Local
that's pretty
place.
much why he's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't know how to say it.
You got out quick.
And failed your ass, bro.
Who's playing this? It looks awesome, by the way.
It's me. That's all. It is fucking fantastic.
It looks a lot more tame than the first one. The first one just opens up your asshole a new one when you walk in like the second level or something.
They really did tune the difficulty for when you're starting out. The first one beats your ass.
I guess we'll wait and see. I don't have good hopes for the movie.
What Fantastic Four?
No,
I do,
Fantastic
man.
Four is actually it's a pretty cool idea. If, like, it work into like what those characters are. They're not really traditional superheroes. They're adventurers.
Yeah, Adventurers.
Confused a lot.
Sorry, I want you to get hired in a writer's room and see how long you last.
Damn. So mean.
If
What'd you say?
everyone's just gonna whine and baby, then I'll probably be the only person in actually making choices.
That was such a stupid thing to say that I died.
Sir Devin the second.
It's Shaw. He just died.
It's not my
Ugh.
Okay, I like the Valkyrie, but let me go with the
You get 3 classes.
The axe.
God of War may axe is cool.
Dude,
I think Stormbreaker might have done that a bit.
I'm playing God of War through.
Dude, God of
Having
War
a
is
good
so
time.
good.
That's so good.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, which one? Like all?
What do you mean, which one?
I mean,
no.
all of them are good. I mean, I would say 1 through 3, and the PS4 are the only good.
The
ones.
PS4.
Let
The
them
PS4.
scare you. If you think one of them's bad, say one of them's bad.
All of them.
Okay.
Sorry.
The PS4 one feels like a movie. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Like they can.
Brian, you watched what was it called? Making the Kratos on YouTube. It's a fantastic documentary of developing the game. It's really good.
So for the PS4 specifically, or just like
Yeah, for that one. Yeah.
Kratos is a good black character.
I'm still trying to
Yeah.
figure out.
He's my dad.
Black man.
They
One of
never
us.
do they ever mention him being black ever? They
Kratos?
they never.
I mean, the actor's black.
I mean, Kratos is Middle Eastern or like Greek. Kratos
He
is
is Greek.
Yeah, he's a Spartan.
The
It's a joke.
voice actor has a
voice
strong
actor is
ass
black.
jawline, though.
He's black. Yeah, he's the guy from Stargate. Apparently,
The
Yeah,
voice actor
he
is badass.
looks like a
voice
god
actor.
himself. He looks like a god.
Kill you with his chin.
Yeah.
Y'all can
Boy.
hire black guys for like deep voices and shit. Goliath is what one example.
Boy.
Goliath. Yeah.
But from Gargoyles.
Was it Keith David?
Better.
Yeah.
To be fair, Keith David's voice is just naturally cool. He himself is cool.
It was a generic. He clears a black guy you hear in a lot of cartoons. He's always the big guys. You heard his voice plenty of times.
John DiMaggio is another one.
Who?
John DiMaggio's white, but he's like a generic voice actor. But whenever you need a sidekick, you call John DiMaggio. He plays Bender in Futurama and Jake in Adventure Time.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
Whenever you need
American
like,
Dragon Dog. Yeah.
yeah.
I love these people. Nobody knew he was. He was like, oh, cartoon voices?
Actually, Tris, I think he added me on Twitter like years ago.
John DiMaggio?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's weird.
Checking
that
out-
you get,
checking out-
like, people who worked in the industry follow you on your Twitters or your social
Yeah.
media. It's kind of
This was
weird.
years.
It's like,
Let me see
nigga,
if I
I
can
don't
find
do
that.
nothing.
Yeah. I'm just this guy that reads your stuff, to watch your stuff. Dude, the Power Ranger from he always liked my post. From
Yeah, the Power
Time
Rangers.
Force.
That's awesome.
Not Time Force, but the second Red Ranger from the original series.
Mhm.
Zeo.
Follow you on Twitter?
No, Rocky. Rocky. He always liking people's stuff. He always liking mine every once in a blue moon. I don't know why.
Does he follow you, or does he just like see your shit when you tweet?
I guess you see tags and he just likes. But he like 5 of my photos constantly one time. Wow.
That's awesome.
What?
Like, I'm gonna buy that man.
This little nigga's kind of cute.
You decided those coins weren't worth it, huh?
Make me a Power Ranger, dude.
He said he's a Power Ranger, dude.
Make me a Power Ranger. Cast me.
I was about to say, like, he's a
Thank you,
Power
Kazar.
Ranger.
A finally good Black Ranger.
Has there been a good Black Ranger?
Yeah, the SPD guy. Yeah.
Black Ranger is always the
God damn it.
hero. He's
Yeah,
always the
I-
Red
I
Ranger
know
whenever
it.
like the Zoids or cars or something.
I knew you were gonna say that. Oh, it's gotta be a
Tiny
car.
one.
Black people love cars.
She gets 60% more gold. I gotta go with her.
Like what the first one TJ is when Turbo happened. SPD.
Dude, Ninja
RPM.
Storm is the best Power Ranger.
I didn't watch RPM. I stopped around there.
Ninja Storm is the best Power Ranger, hands down.
Just on.
Yeah, hands down.
Nah,
Uh,
Samurai is.
I don't care what anyone
Ty,
says.
you know what it is? Nah, you guys are uncultured. It's the Boom Studios Power Rangers. Let's go, baby.
I have no idea. The only thing
The comic books.
Ooh.
The comic books slap.
Oh, dude, I've been actually meaning to peep the comic groups. The
Dude,
comic books.
freaking read them.
They look like really like I don't know, like the Power Rangers grew up for no reason, and it's awesome.
Oh my god.
Suddenly realized they were fighting a galactic war.
Just
Yeah, that's basically show what it is. Like, this is serious here, guys.
just play Battle for the Grid.
Not just high school kids, right?
What you say?
What?
I just said just play Battle for the Grid on the fighting game. That's a good.
Dude, I want to
to.
buy that, but I don't.
I
At the same
was
time,
thinking about it. Still thinking about that game as well. It's like,
is Lord Drakon in that? I think he is, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
the whole story
That's the
campaign.
main. That's the main part of the story.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, they did the comic storyline then. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Should have gone for the China one.
yeah. You should have went
Yeah,
for the one, bye bye.
All right, which one do I go for?
Wait, can I see what's that? Wait, what do you have, Sir Gordon? What's the next one? Lady Josephine Knight. What's the
How you
other one?
feel about the
I think the
like
X.
$600 checks?
I was thinking the X.
Cool.
Get a straight face. I know Sean's
That
excited.
warrior. Get that warrior class going.
Yo, Tay, you know what I noticed about God of War?
Yeah.
If you play it in hard the first time, you're gonna fucking hate it. But if you play it normal and then play it hard, it's incredible.
I usually play my games in normal.
I usually go straight for hard, but God of War
Yeah, I play all my
PS4
games at hard now.
kicking my ass.
Really?
Dude.
You go hard first, and that's your new normal. Just go hard. Take your
No.
ass whooping in the beginning, and everyone
But it was
else
to the
is easy.
it was to the point where like I was like not enjoying the story because every fight was so difficult.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean,
guess that,
normal is how the developer intended it to be played, right?
Yeah,
No,
I
that's-
guess.
it
Yeah.
depends. It depends.
You know, Demon Soul, Dark Souls fans got mad when that was in consideration, adding an
Yeah.
easy mode to the game.
I think they're
Very
fucking
interesting topic.
What they call it? Fucking journalist mode.
Yeah, but that's funny. Jason Schreier mode.
Yeah.
hey, get
You got the Cuphead guy.
Hey, he's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in Steam. Is it in Steam?
Good game.
I think so.
Is it on Steam?
I
Capcom presents.
would say because like I want to go back into some Marvel vs. Capcom, but I don't want. I don't want to do. I don't
Those
want
were the
to.
days.
They're selling that game digitally anywhere. You have to like find it physical.
I have a
copy.
360 copy.
Dude, the 360 servers are going.
Dude, that was my high school days playing that game constantly.
Jesus, what'd you say, Shaw?
How far are you in God of War?
I just got to the base of the mountain.
You haven't beat it yet, right? Like you don't know the story, or
I know who I'm fighting. It's like his name's like Bald. I thought it was Loki at first. but
Me too when I first played. Yeah.
Well, I
You
just want to make news so I don't say random shit.
I
Dude,
don't
you're
really
in for a
care about
treat.
spoilers.
Cheap.
Oh, Isaac, you can get Ultimate and Infinite on Steam, but that's about it.
I don't want Infinite.
Why you don't want
If
Infinite,
you
Isaac?
want the 2D one, like the real good one, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have
Oh
to
yeah,
try to rob
the
somebody.
2D one. Yeah, I had to find.
You have to rob somebody's house for that shit.
Yeah.
Marvel's gonna come too? Yeah, you can't buy it nowhere, right?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's emulated.
You
Yeah.
gotta go on this illegal site
Last time I played it was on PS2. My
and
it's
avoid
like $300 or something.
You're gonna pay like $500 for a copy of that game.
That's it.
Alright, I think I'm gonna head to bed.
No, you're not. You stay here.
Thanks for
Come
having
back.
me.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Fall asleep again.
See you later, bud.
Good
See
night.
ya.
Bye.
I was joking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love Kazari.
Marvel, Capcom 3.
Pokemon Fire Red
Dude, that
was.
I see it right now.
that was such a good Pokemon game.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Fire Red.
I'm a Gen 1 or whatever you call it.
You're a boomer.
Yeah, I am Pokemon. I admit that. I am.
Yeah, I'm
Owen
a boomer
was
too.
nice.
It's okay.
Electrica is my favorite.
Yeah,
Gen
Chico's
1
cool.
Gen 1 is yellow, right? Like you're talking about that generation?
Yeah,
Like,
that's Gen
Yeah.
1, yeah.
You got the boring generation. Don't bother.
dude, I fucking love Pokemon.
I
Like,
fell off,
actually,
fell off
I don't
though.
like the new ones a lot, but
Gen 3 is what it's at.
Black and
oh
white.
my god, I'm getting my shit rocked.
Yeah, Ethan, that's the when I played Black and White 2, I was so lost with the Pokemon like world. Like, who is these guys? But I enjoyed it for what it was though. It's
Yeah,
Pokemon.
I still have it on my handheld. Like, it's cool to play, but I'm just kind of like, I played this.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I am too. Like, when I was planning, I felt lost. Ironically, like,
When it
because I
comes to
didn't
like
watching the.
Pokemon X and Y or whatever, I'm just like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's a slight reboot.
Yeah. And then they took the X and Y shit away, and what was it after that? Like,
The Aloha region.
yeah.
That's the Hawaii thing.
Oh, yeah, the Hawaii shit.
I enjoyed Sun and Moon.
I have the recent one. I didn't finish it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sword and
yeah,
Shield. What is it? Sword and Shield?
Yeah, it's like fun,
Yeah.
but it's like not super engaging.
I never got Sword and Shield. I heard
Yeah.
some good things about it. I just play Tim now.
Oh my god.
Dude, you got skewered.
Dude, yeah. I've been
Like,
getting...
wait, none of y'all bored with Pokemon by this point?
Well, this for me. This is for I don't play Pokemon yearly. I don't buy all of them. That's why it was new to me.
I don't.
I'll buy
Where
like
Chris
one
at?
every couple years, maybe. Oh god, I picked Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo run. Let's go.
Chris is the Pokemon critique.
Flip my monitor upside down just to play this shit. I hate Vertigo runs.
What's going on with Pokemon anime right now?
Vertigo.
I think
It's on the Sword and Shield one.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, you talking about Pokemon anime?
Yeah, the one in Netflix, the one that's now Netflix
Oh.
original.
There's one on Netflix.
Journeys? I like that one.
Yeah,
Pokemon Journey.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Netflix original now.
Oh wow,
'Cause
really?
They, yeah,
Yep,
they
yep.
travel.
Huh.
So I like it.
What'd you say?
Wait, where did they go
Huh?
to the other stuff?
Yeah, it's not just focused on region. So kind of.
That's crazy. It's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
It's basically like the game. It's more like the game.
Right.
Oh, that sounds fun. Is Red in it and stuff like that, or you just
What'd you
they
say,
just go to
Ethan?
different
No,
regions?
Can you?
Huh?
This has got to be fucking hard as shit, Brian.
Yeah,
It's
Brian's having a
not-
hard time.
it is
Just like
not
Castlevania, dude.
getting the fuck out of here.
I would
Ethan knows.
This is actually looking a little more difficult than that.
Like Simply the Night with the map
Oh,
reverses.
not-
That's
no.
fantastic level design, by the way. If you play that,
Because your controls inverted too, like is left and right different now that it's upside down? Or what?
No, it's actually the same, but up and down fuck me. It's just that it just fucks you up directionally.
dude, that bugs me. Inverted controls, I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
Like when God of War, when I first played that, I hated how the button input they got used to it. Like, while I'm
hate
hitting
it.
people
You
with
know what's a
R1,
controversial design decision that I hate? That your right trigger and your right bumper are your attack buttons. That shit pisses me off.
yeah.
Yeah, I get
Every attack button should be a face button. Demon Souls-
Apparently, I
and
found
Dark
out
Souls.
God of War, you can actually change it to the classic design. But no one knew.
Can you? I couldn't
Yeah,
find
yeah,
it on the
you,
menu.
you can do that. Apparently. I found it after the guy finished the game. Not that it wasn't bad. That's got
Yeah, I got used to it now, but I really don't like using the bumpers for attacks. I feel like it's just
awkward. So,
kind of productive. Like Demon Souls was the first one that did that in my experience, and I've never liked it.
Actually, I think what is it? Wait, Brian, where are you at right now? The base of the mountain, right? You just ran into the fog.
the Black Fog.
No, I just met the second blacksmith.
Ah,
Oh, the trolls.
Yeah, the blue one. I met the blue one, and then
Oh, you're right there. I know exactly where you're right now.
I'm like
Okay.
right when you talk to the world snake.
Yeah.
I just got there today. I've been playing. I picked it up like a month ago.
Dude, you ran the tree. I'm sorry to keep praising this game. Jesus.
What'd you say?
Nothing. There's like some games I wish I could just play again. The God of War is like
I want to play the original Spider-Man PS4 again.
I've been meaning to too, but I don't want to do open world again no more. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I
Too
really
much.
experience,
Yeah.
I got this like open world of Spider-Man games. Like at least it's fun to travel. I never feel like I have the most fun. Like
Huh.
swinging
Quick question for you. What are you using to talk?
Mike, I'm not aiming at it at this point.
Yeah, he's like leaning back a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, let me fucking boost you up a
Streaming?
little bit because I cannot understand a single thing you're saying.
Dude, that Spider-Man, the opening transition from cutscene to gameplay is god tier. Jesus Christ, it's so good.
It makes you feel like Spidey.
Yeah, like I never meant just like grinning and like I'm just new. I'm in for a treat.
It's okay.
I'm alive.
Holy makes you feel like Spider-Man.
With the
Like
accentuated
Batman.
black swag.
Playing Spider-Man makes you really feel like Batman.
I hate only for this. I think I only had like what? I don't like it when Spider-Man's game fucks me over when I do a perfect stealth run. That I don't. Like I'll do like one of their like takedown. I know it's like I think it's meant to be like a free for all battle shit. What is it?
It's optional. You see.
Kingpin's warehouses and shit.
Yeah.
And I can do it stealth for the first round, but then everybody knows I'm fucking here. Or at least knows exactly where I am.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I tried doing that, and they just like, oh, hey, he's here.
Yeah, okay. I guess I got to fight this out now.
I never.
Was it doing a warp transition to go to there? I use an After Effects.
You never sneak, bro. It's real. It's
Never
like
sneak.
fun to do that with Spider-Man's
I
ability.
never sneak. I go in fucking fist up.
You didn't do it with Miles Morales game?
Yeah, I pull up with the glamour. I don't do that sneaking.
Hey, y'all missing you're missing the versatility of a character like that, man.
Fuck me twice.
I think it gives you options. I think it's more of that.
Maybe I'm missing the versatility of the character. I just don't find sneaking gameplay fun.
What? Shaking someone in the back and getting away with it is not fun.
No.
It's rewarding to me. It feels good.
Is that a pride symbol?
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
I wanna look them in the eyes. I picked it life.
Try it out to see how they do sneaky gameplay. Like,
Say it again,
Unity
Liam.
did sneaky gameplay, I really love. Like I said, I'll always try it out to see how they do it.
Yeah.
The way Unity did it, I really enjoy it because it made the difficulty hype at least at the beginning made it feel like you actually had to be sneaky.
For what game?
This one was like for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh, gotcha.
No, ironically, despite the bugs that game had, people said that was the last good true to form Assassin's Creed game. Yeah.
Oh, which one?
Unity.
Unity.
Before they went to the open world stuff, before they transitioned to what they do now.
Really loved it because like I played it way late, so I didn't have any like surrounding bias behind it.
Yeah.
But it was really jarring to go from Unity straight into Syndicate because I was trying to catch up.
Dude, Syndicate was
I'm
so
like,
bad.
this.
Syndicate was what?
Syndicate was so bad. I stole it from Redbox and I regret it.
It came and went. It felt like I forgot about that one. That's the 1800s one, right?
Yeah, no, like I'll typically go ahead, Brian.
What?
Were you seeking just now?
Oh no! I was just saying that Assassin's Creed Syndicate looked really cool because of the setting, but it was so fucking bad.
Yeah, no, like it wasn't like if this was its own standalone type game that had nothing to do with Assassin's Creed, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Right.
It didn't call itself Assassin's Creed. You like it?
Just the Assassin's Creed title. When you put an Assassin's Creed title like that, it really just sets a certain amount of expectations with the gameplay that Assassin's Creed Syndicate did not have.
I think the new ones does that. Like it's not even Assassin's Creed no more.
Yeah, it's really not like after I would say after 4. I'm gonna say after 4, everything just went like the story just went off course, and they're just like keep writing it more and more just to keep the
not even. I'm more talking about gameplay terms, is how it's structured. Like it's not. It's not even Assassin's Creed no more. It's like just generic third-person open world game.
It's its own. It's its own thing now.
Yeah, just because you throw a hood on somebody and give them a hidden blade doesn't make them an assassin. It just makes them an input for a character.
Blade.
Did he run away? Yeah. That bitch ran away. But anyway, yeah.
All right. I unlocked multiplayer today, and we are good for next time.
Yeah, I unlocked. Well, I'm already.
Multiplayer.
Destiny 2.
Oh, nice.
You finished Unity already?
What'd you say?
I was asking Leon if he finished Unity already.
Oh yeah, I finished it a long time ago, and then I had bought Origins, and it kind of sat for about a year before I cracked it open.
Oh, that's right. You doing that little playthrough? You doing this games you got? You posted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so behind on so much. Like,
Where do you post it
that,
at?
like,
You had like a lot of
Oh,
games there.
that's incredible.
like I think back when I was working at Zoe's, me and Jordan would talk about it so much. He tells me up and down I should play The Witcher, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Don't fucking remind me.
You
It's on
wouldn't-
my
you-
list of a shit ton of games that I gotta play.
That's one of those games that like I would never finish.
Yeah, it's another games I'm never going to touch because it's too massive. Like, leave me alone. I don't wanna do that.
I just didn't want it to end. I don't like finishing games. I end up like liking games too much. I'm like, I don't want to stop playing. I don't want. I don't want to finish. I don't want to get to the climax.
That's why I like New Game Plus so much. It's such a great feature.
For me, I'm more like a one and done gamer. I'm not like play for a very long time. I gotta play like single player games, like Uncharted or something like that. I'm satisfied. Move on to the next game.
Uncharted doesn't have
Uncharted
New Game
4
Plus,
so
does it?
badly.
What'd you say, Isaac?
Wait, does Uncharted 4 have? Does Uncharted have any New Game Plus?
I
No.
can't remember.
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
The last one is 4.
I got that for free.
I really want
Lost
to play. I
Legacy,
really want to play it.
and
You got 4 for free.
For PlayStation Plus, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, they're giving it away for December.
I know
PS
because
Plus members.
Oh, really? You need for a treat. You didn't play that. Game's awesome.
Also, I'm excited that I got Alien Isolation for free as well.
Oh yeah,
I saw Ethan posted
I
it.
remember
It's gonna be
that. Trying to get this word.
Yeah, we were the worst trying to play all that shit.
Yeah, we were the worst.
Were you scared of it or what?
No, we were just like trying to get through one level
See,
specifically.
the thing is, Sean was like insanely brave. Me, I wanted to like figure out the layout of everything before I did shit. Dre just got lucky, honestly.
Does he play games? I don't see Dre playing games.
Dumb shit, and nobody would attack. Like the alien went and attacked him, and I was like, "What the fuck
He
is
just
going on?"
walked away.
Damn, Brian, why are you getting hit by those spikes?
Dude, my little sister loves that game. She plays it like every day.
Alien
Obsessed with the
Isolation?
game. Yeah, she loves that game.
Like the AI is intelligent.
Oh,
It
yeah.
makes you actually feel like
Yeah,
you're
it's the AI. I was so impressed with it.
It's really good.
Because
Like,
it makes
'cause-
it a fresh experience every time.
Honestly,
Yep.
if there's anything games should work on in the future, at least for me, is like some dynamic nature when it comes to the AI. I don't want to teabag the same fucking guys over and over again and nobody learn a lesson.
Most
you
games
want to
are-
learn along with you.
Yeah.
You know, but there's one horror game series that I need to get is the Fatal Frame, 1 through 3.
Fatal Frame is really good.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the photographer girl? With the
Yeah.
gun?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You take pictures to kill ghosts.
With the
Um,
camera oscura, with the camera obscura.
I don't play horror games. It's just never been my thing. Never set myself to go to 'em.
Like,
Say that again.
Horror games are like for the thrill, is like the thrill of suspense and shit. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
like it, then you're not gonna like the game.
It also very strongly depends on the game.
True.
I was just saying because
Oh.
like recently I played like Dread Out, and that's basically Fatal Frame's successor, spiritual successor.
Like, what are you playing for? The gameplay or just the experience? Like,
It's probably
for-
both for me, for being.
Honestly, a horror game can get me through a really bad gameplay experience if the story is really good.
okay.
Yeah.
Like
But
Telltale
another thing
games, the gameplay sucks. But the story.
Yeah,
Most horror gameplay is really bad because people don't know.
How to
A lot of
create.
like indie horror games don't understand what makes horror game a horror game.
Like indie horror games? I thought usually they do some interesting stuff. Well, sometimes.
Did I say a
I mean, I was
lot?
gonna say horror games now, since because of Five Nights at Freddy's, mostly
was
do
just gonna
jump
say that.
scares.
I fucking hate Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
I want it to
I was
die,
gonna say
but it will never die.
I'll- I don't mind the game. It's just I hate it. I hate it when
Jesus, bless you.
that game changed the meaning of a horror game.
It didn't change.
What is
I
it?
wouldn't give it enough. I wouldn't give that much credit. I think it's just an
Mm.
annoying.
It was a fresh take on something old.
Yeah.
Isn't just get scared? Isn't the point of the horror game to get scared?
But it's
Not
still
after you like keep doing jump scares after jump scares, like, oh yeah, I
And
know
then you
what
get
this is gonna
used to it.
happen. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
for
'cause I
every
mean,
other
like,
game, like just use that kind of mechanic. You're like, oh, I know where
fuck me
this is
twice and
going.
call me Jerry.
I think the last time I truly got scared with video game was the PT game. And the
Yeah, that was
game
so
was
Now
good.
that
terrifying.
was unique. That was unique because it doesn't have to use jump scares most of the time. It's just the environment and the way you're going through the hallways every time.
Yeah, like the atmosphere was
You need the atmosphere
unsettling.
and
yeah, the atmosphere was eerie.
yeah, you need
Same
an
with,
eerie and the
See,
sound
it,
and the sound with it. The sound. You can't
Yeah.
just be just like a loud noise and oh you and a random
I-
JPEG image and then oh you're scared. Yeah. No, you
there's
can't
a lot
do
of
that.
build up and suspense, whereas with
Yeah.
regular
little
jump scares,
foodie.
it's like, oh, okay, now it's one and done. And then after
Like
like
when
the
I-
first 5 times, it doesn't get you anymore.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
puzzles got annoying when I was playing PT. Look through the wall, this little hole, look through the bathroom, like, come on. I was supposed to see that.
Look at a fetus in a sink.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's good.
Like, it expects you to like figure out a lot of shit. Like, cause I remember playing with my brother. Like, I was impressed with it for a while, and then like I got frustrated because I was like,
Yeah.
I actually don't know what the fuck else to do because I've walked through every hallway. I think I've touched every wall.
Like a loop.
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite type of games, though. Like I think horror games shine when the experience of playing the horror game is as frustrating as the character that you're playing.
I don't want to get that frustrated. I don't mind getting
Yeah.
fucked over in the game. I just want like a
But
reasonable.
you're immersed though.
I want a really horror games for me have to have a really naturalistic immersion. That's why I like sort of Silent Hill. I've never played a Silent Hill game, but I've watched enough people play Silent Hill. That I like the design philosophy of Silent Hill, which is like the combat system sucks on purpose. Like
Yeah.
you have to.
You're supposed to be inexperienced. You're supposed to be a guy that doesn't have any experience with combat.
Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you
No,
up.
no,
Forgot
no,
about
it's
time. Now listen, I know you had some experience with
Resident
Spider.
Evil getting
I need
control
your advice. How do I get
on
rid of the
purpose,
Power Rangers?
but they were shooting control.
The
They
Power
made it hard
Rangers?
for you to destroy
If I know
Right,
that,
and then
do you think I'd be
and
lying
I think
here
that
listening
adds
to
a lot
this?
of value to a horror game. Because if every argument is difficult, you're gonna be a lot more selective about the not argument. If every encounter is difficult, you're gonna be a lot more selective about the encounters that you do have to do, and then the
That's
experience.
hilarious, Sean, the password. Sorry, Brian. I'm just
No,
now
you're
saying this message. No, the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm not good.
That's stupid.
Warehouse.
Did you get one?
No.
Wait, they try to make an Easter Bunny horror game?
I think it's an Easter Bunny.
It says the Easter Bunny is here. Unless
What's the history bunny?
Oh, I guess I never seen this one.
Manly badass hero. Maybe the guys just named it that. I don't know. But that
You
was
know-
like a pervert in a costume.
I was kind of interested, like in some of these games now they try to use like a PS1 kind of graphics looks.
Ooh, love
Yeah,
that. What game is this?
retro- I was kind of interested in that. It was like, oh wow, they're making something so old, make it so trending and good for this modern time.
I love that. I love PS1 graphics.
Yeah.
You don't? Dude, I love like 8-bit, 16-bit. I love stuff like that.
Who really misses when
Second bit
like,
is really fun.
fingers were all connected? Like I like GTA, but I don't miss the way they used to move.
Oh yeah.
It's a
But I mean,
charm to it.
Still, yeah, it's a charm. I
You know
love
what
going
I-
back to play Vice City.
Tay, give me your opinion.
Yeah.
Fucking Vertigo Run. Give me your opinion. You know that when like I gotta pause for this. You know when you used to like play a PS2 game, and
Yeah.
then like if you rotated your stick really quickly, like your analog stick, your character would move. It would have like a one-to-one relationship with your movement. To the front, like I would cancel out the animation for going left for it to go right.
Yeah.
Nowadays game has this like heavier animation style where if you're running in one direction and then you flick the stick, he does like a break, or it takes like a half a frame or something to like go into the opposite direction.
I see what you're saying. But what about it?
I don't know how to describe that. Assassin's Creed was a really big example of this. Like Kingdom Hearts 2, if you move Sora, he moves in that direction immediately, no matter what other direction you're facing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but for example, Assassin's Creed 4,
Shut up. Don't judge me.
if you're running in one direction, then
No,
you
I
turn
just saw this.
around, there's like a lag.
A slight delay for like a
slight
split
delay.
second.
I
I know exactly what you're
fucking-
talking about. I've seen this before.
Fucking hate that delay.
I think Shadow Motor does this too, I believe.
Yeah,
I can remember.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Last of Us demastered.
Last of
Good night.
Last of
Good
Us.
night,
Good night.
Good night.
But
Last of Us is such a good game.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 is a great game too.
You're right.
Oh God.
Yeah, boy. I was waiting for this to happen.
I'm not even gonna do that.
Where Isaac at? I should have said him. He was here. He hates women.
Oh, hold on for a second, I believed you.
I'm not being funny, and then this is not an attack, but most people that I talk to that hate The Last of Us 2 genuinely hate women.
yeah, they do.
Why? Well, I mean, I
Interns.
don't get dumb motherfuckers like that, but they're legit reasons to maybe not like that game. I don't like
because they don't get this stark white male protagonist.
Does it like does that's the thing? Why like fucking
God.
Aloy is a great character. What's all this?
Aloy?
Aloy, you know, no one
Aloy.
ever played Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I have.
I mean, I think shit. I still think one of the funniest moments is when I got hit on for the first time without seeing that shit coming. I thought that shit was hilarious. Because Aloy is just like, I'm asking questions like a regular protagonist, and like this nigga's like, "Hey, you want to go somewhere?" I was like, "The fuck? Where's that coming?"
What gets me is when people say like Ghost of Tsushima is a great game in terms of story. Like, no. It's pretty boring.
Like Ghost of Tsushima wasn't aiming for that. Like,
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
You know, no, I'll argue. Look at Sony's track record. Yes, they were.
They were.
an overly simple story. Hell, it was based off what was it, Yojimbo shit.
No, okay. No.
Oh, he paused the
Oh, yeah, I
game.
do.
Jesus.
It wasn't based off of Jojimbo because Jojimbo is a body.
I'm losing to drink.
I
It
said
was-
that,
it was-
inspired hits. It's better.
It was
I'm gonna
based on Akira Kurosawa's interpretation of a samurai, not of a specific Kurosawa film. Just saying.
Okay.
Jojimbo's a great film, and it has nothing to do with. There's no element borrowed from Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, from Jojimbo and Ghost of Tsushima. Apart from the character and the stoic interpretation that Kurosawa played with samurai of.
Outside of things, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the visuals for Ghost of Tsushima were purely how do you say it?
Sucker
Were
Punch, yeah.
purely visual. Anything that Ghost of Tsushima borrowed from Akira Kurosawa was entirely visual, and sound was
Some-
noise. Yeah,
I'm different with games though. Like I'm like
thank God.
you guys with TV shows and movies. And the game trying to tell you a story, it better be good
Yeah,
because you're trying to present a story.
I really like Ghost of Tsushima, but the story was really fucking boring.
Yeah, it was boring. The gameplay's fantastic and the world's fantastic. The story, Jin's boring as ever. So monotone.
It's because
Jin
Jin's
Sakai.
technically boring, honestly.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Jin is a really boring character.
Jin, like, I don't like Jin only because he doesn't actually react to any of the shit around him. Like, he finds out his aunt, his like nursemaid and his father were fucking, and there's no reaction to that.
He just
Kinda
stares.
It's an actual nice moment though, because I'm not gonna lie, that old lady kind of made me cry a bit.
I
That
don't
was
even
a
fucking- I don't-
decent little moment where she was like dying and shit.
I don't even remember that. It was so forgettable.
And what the fuck? Outside of like Jin, what he finds out one of his friends is lesbian. They don't bring that up because I don't know what Jin's opinion of that is in this
Wait,
area.
which is the lesbian friend?
The old lady, she's lesbian.
Yeah, her story segment was good. I like
Oh,
hers.
Masako. I didn't finish Masako's story.
Yeah. Her sons and stuff, her children. All.
Well, like, they do. This Sucker Punch is smart by like just making the characters around you be the side quest usually, except for the other ones which are boring.
They're good with worlds too.
Yeah, Sucker Punch is fantastic. I didn't like I didn't like Second Fun because of the.
I love Second Son.
I just don't think
Second Son was bad.
The smoke power.
It was not bad.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't bad. You gotta argue the story is bad, but the girl around is fantastic.
That's
Gameplay
my
is
point.
great.
I was saying the story at this point.
Okay.
The gameplay is fine because it was only really like an upgrade of Infamous's gameplay, which is already solid.
Actually, I didn't like the gameplay for Second Son.
You didn't like it? Wow. Okay. Why?
I didn't like
the story. He doesn't like game.
I didn't like the smoke powers, specifically the smoke powers. I think they translated. No, they translated to be more of a shooter mechanic than a melee mechanic.
Oh no, yeah, that's pretty normal for that. Like even the first Infamous was like that, and the second Infamous tried to make up for there being no real melee in it, but
he took that as they went.
Yeah, but I really like the melee mechanics in both the first and second Infamous. But something about that, it just didn't. Something felt disjointed with Second Son.
The chain and everything. Like sometimes AI, sometimes people don't do really good on AI's responsiveness to certain weapons.
No, it was more of like the animation of it. I always felt disjointed. It felt like I wasn't having an effect on the world.
No, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was thinking that maybe like you didn't feel the weight of their hits because I'm having that issue on like Valhalla where I feel like I'm just mashing buttons and people are dying. Like I don't feel like I just did anything really cool. Like Ghost of Tsushima's combat is so smooth. I usually compare it to that. Like I don't feel like I just murdered someone and like earned it. I outskilled someone. I feel like I'm just pressing buttons and people. Like,
right. I see what you're coming from.
But that being said, like the story was the most interesting part of the game. The gameplay was such an obstacle for me.
It's funny because I wanted Sucker Punch to make Spider-Man before Insomniac got in it.
Oh, that would be an interesting.
I could have sworn that was going to be them, but it was Insomniac. That was Insomniac.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna.
They're fantastic. Holy, what can you do in this game?
they added some new skills. That's being one of them.
Is this where is this at?
This is on Steam. It's like $6.
Really?
Yeah, it's on early access though, so maybe I don't know if you should expect like a lot of content for the game, but everything that I've played is really good.
When is 20? Oh, it's 20. It's already out.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's $20. Is it on PS5?
Oh, are they? I thought it was an early access though. Maybe I bought it like just before it came off it.
You brought the sale. You didn't realize it.
I think the gameplay for Ghost of Tsushima is better than its stuff. I think I can agree with that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's weird though because I think I like everything around Jin and not him. I don't mind the Huns because the Mongols. I said Hun. The Mongols because I do like the themes of the story, the way they were executed pretty well. But I don't like Jin's response to all this outside the shit where like I have
so
to kill
monotone
people secretly because that's the only thing. His whole thing is not killing people dishonorably, but I don't get anything else from him. Like people say they're gay and lesbian, he doesn't give me a reaction. I was like, "What do you think about this?"
Oh,
he's like, he doesn't care. Like he's got this live and let live philosophy, except for when it comes to killing Mongols. And I'm like,
is it a samurai code? Is that how they act in real life or something?
He has a strict honor system. His character is built off that, and they don't really use that to expand him as a person sometimes.
Well, I would argue that they do. I just think that it's a bad choice.
No, I mean like he's expanded and like he's expanded well in one way about like breaking his code to save his people. But he has so many good examples of things that are broken from traditional norms centered around him, and they don't use any of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that his lack of reaction is a product of the samurai code, but I think
that's what I think it is too. It's part of how he.
Yeah, but
I think it doesn't make for an interesting character, but I think as someone who is so comfortable breaking the samurai code. I don't think that anything that would stray from tradition would be significant for him anymore.
It has to be because everyone has their limits. I mean, I don't want Jin to be a racist or anything, but be a person. Like he's never seen gay people in his time. He should have a comment. Everyone did. Everyone's got a comment.
Is this normal?
Yeah, or something. Show me that there's a person in there.
Watch Jin just be autistic.
Basically, kind of because he kind of just is monotone. Like people do crazy shit around him, and he's like, "Okay, I accept it." I was like, "Okay, well, like where's the fucking line here?"
He plays like a creator character type of character. He doesn't make any sense. Exactly.
You're right. Like he doesn't play like he's a character I'm like on a journey with, but a character
you made
tool for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with people being gay and lesbian, but Jin is like fucking an old samurai. Like, why is he okay? Isn't all his fucking rules different from mine?
Here's an interesting bit of. I hate when I do this because I don't want to go into a diatribe. But here's the interesting thing about the way that when culture expands to a point where we're so tolerant of something that was like so hard to be tolerant in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard for me, like if I was making a game, it is hard for me to create an environment where those things are not accepted. Not because I need it to be historically accurate or something, but because facing that ideology is so difficult for people that are.
You good?
You good?
I'm sorry, bro. Are you okay?
What the fuck was that? I just think it's really hard to make a game where those things aren't inherently okay in the cultural climate, not because of, not as a result of the game or the people telling the story of the game, but I think as a result of culture not being tolerant of those intolerances anymore. And if you bring them back, you run the risk of sounding like you are welcoming those intolerances, and then you have a real PR challenge ahead of you.
I think I can understand that. I think I can understand.
Yeah.
That's a fair
People don't want to offend anybody, but it's like it's the truth. People were racist back then.
Yeah, that's my thing though. I don't know. I'm not gonna say no other culture does it, but at least for black culture, race is brought up often enough that I'm aware people would call me nigga if it was a couple of years ago.
But it's also not about not offending people. It's about
no, I know. Maybe it's hard to write those kind of characters, or
no. I wouldn't even say it's about that. I don't think it's about not offending people. I think it's about adapting. I think it's about extending the place where we are in culture into the media that we're consuming.
Okay, you're saying they wouldn't, because of how far we are now, they don't really find it easy, or probably they're not really thinking about bringing up those points in the.
Yeah, it's hard to justify inserting racism into something if it's not a plot point because of the setting, because it's how do you say it? Our cultural development has existed to a point. And then, of course, you should always acknowledge the fact that those things happen. But when you're creating a film or when you're creating a game where the objective is to be involved in some form of escapism, when you include those things in the game, you're now asking your audience to deal with potentially triggering subject matter that they didn't sign up for. So it's a solid financial decision to backpack on some of those or backtrack on some of those issues, so that your game becomes much more accessible and hits the wider market.
I think that's reasonable. I'm just saying.
The MSRP rating covering that stuff, and part of that where it says hey, suggestive themes, violent score, yada yada yada. Isn't that kind of hey, this is what you're getting into?
Yeah,
and then you buy it anyway.
Potentially, but the business decision is not in the ESRB rating. The business decision is how do we make people want to buy this game? And that decision is not from the ESR ES whatever rating. That business decision comes from the board of directors that are making the game and funding it, and they want to get a return of investment. So you will see oftentimes indie games dealing with really complicated subjects like depression and suicide and mental illness more than big AAA studios, because it's riskier for a AAA studio to deal with that big a topic than it is for someone like
a smaller indie developer.
Yeah, just a nobody or someone just coming up. I think it's you have a lot more freedom when you're starting out than when you're at the top. Yeah.
And so I don't think I think all of those issues would always be addressed, but I don't think it's a bad thing that some of those issues are a little bit underwhelmed when it comes to whatever game you're consuming, because it's about making an accessible story to the people that you're trying to sell the game to. And I don't know about you, but I deal with enough racism in my daily life to not want to deal with it when I'm playing like a fucking samurai game.
That's fair.
No, I never really experienced in Amigos like blatant racism.
I mean, I get that. I've gotten that growing up. I mean, I'm a big black guy. I scare a lot of people. Like, I don't know. My thing isn't really that. It's really just it would be the more interesting topic to cover, especially when they made it like an interesting topic in the game. She basically cheated on her husband with a woman, and I thought, hey, she was ashamed of it. It would be interesting if Jin had anything interesting to say about this situation. Maybe learn a valuable lesson from this whole thing. But Jin's story doesn't, despite his story like rounding up with all of this, he doesn't really take much lessons from it. It kind of just happened, and he's the guy who kills the most people.
Jin's a bad character.
Yeah,
Like,
the game doesn't
know,
suck. He sucks.
No, that's the thing. Jin kind of weakens what could be more interesting because he's not really absorbing any of the kind of interesting shit around him. Like, it's like, if this was an RPG, it'd be fine because I can take the lesson from her and just walk with it. But Jin is the character I'm playing as, and he's just like, you know what? That's fine. I was like, I get it, but like, I think that's fine. But Jin, you're your own person. Why do you think it's fine? I mean, you're not me, so
I
all I'm
make
saying.
the argument.
Like,
I want to make the argument that Jin is such a bland character and like nothing bothers him, because I think they thought that it would serve the story, but I can't give him that because the story does actively suffer from Jin being such a bland character.
You think it fixed the overall game other than the game?
Well, I mean, if he's had something other to say, because he does, like, the whole taken away, like, his best parts, at least for me, were the things about when he felt like he was betraying his family legacy and his honor. Like, those are big things he can really talk about, but sometimes they're pushed to the side. I kill a lot of people, and I know that's okay for him, but I just feel like if we're gonna write this like really harsh story about such a horrible thing to happen to a character, kind of, then you should work with it. It's more interesting to work with it than not.
I agree. I do think the game, to answer your question, I do think that the game suffers a little bit from Jin being such a bland character. Not on gameplay wise, but it does suffer from
gameplay wise.
From immersion.
I do love jumping off that.
Immersion, okay.
Yeah. Because your character is non-reactive to a world that is highly reactive. And so you as a player feel inclined to react in accordance to the world, but the main character is not. So you have this dissonance between your narrative and the world's narrative.
Hey, question. Will you guys getting permission, if I threw you guys on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, would you be mad? I'm actually recording this. Yeah, I'm 2 hours in. I'm throwing this on YouTube.
This whole time?
Yeah, Sean made a profile for it. I made a YouTube channel. So
that's fucking hilarious. No,
Oh
fucking
my god.
publish me,
Sure.
bro.
I probably
I
wouldn't
want
do it,
all
man.
the money you get from it. Brian Reeves, Brian, me and you split the money we get from it. Maybe this show.
Every time we do this, I'm gonna record it and just throw it up there. I don't know who's gonna listen to it. It's gonna be on YouTube.
Nice. I'm into it. Yeah. Fucking polish me.
Cool, man.
Shaw, also that royalty check is all mine because I'm the one that has to suffer through your opinion. So.
Yeah, I'd have suffered through yours. I think it's fair we split it evenly.
51-49. That's my final offer.
All right, I split it with you 60-40.
Yeah.
I take 60 off the top, you get 40 on the bottom.
What do people say that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
A lot of people say
because you're not taking anything off the top, and you're not taking anything off the. You're not. If you have $1,000,
it's just
you take 600. If you take 600 of it,
it's just a term of phrase.
No, it's bullshit. English is bullshit. If you take $1,000 and you take 600 off it, there's no bloody bottom. Okay. What's left is your $400. You're now taking the top. It's a stupid expression. That's what I'm trying to say.
Brian, you're just as bad as me. I want that to be clear.
Disagree. I'm just autistic. It's a difference.
You're what?
You say you're autistic?
I am. I am.
You are?
I had a troubled childhood.
I got. What the fuck is happening over there?
Brian was about to do a thing. Who's interrupting?
We're recording here. I'm not listening.
It's so funny. I got diagnosed. So what happened? I got tested because I thought I was autistic. I was like, I'm absolutely not okay on this. And I got tested, and what they said is that there's something that autistic people do called masking, which is when they get so good at pretending that they don't have autism, that they essentially cure a little bit of their autism. So it's like hard to detect it. So it sounds hilarious, but it's totally fucking true. And I took my test, and they told me I was like 2 or 3 points on the score of the test on becoming like diagnosable with the disorder. And they told me if you had taken this test like 3 years ago, you would have absolutely been diagnosed as like having the disorder. But so far, I am more neurodivergent than neurotypical. So I am on the spectrum, just not to the point where it's like diagnosable as a disorder.
You got hide and seek odds.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Isn't autism they see like bright lights or something? It's like everything's flashier than it. Is that true?
It's I can see why that would happen, but it's related to it's related to overstimulation. So there is, how do I say it? Our ability
to running in the background right now.
Liam.
What's that noise?
It's a fan. It's a fan.
He muted his mic.
Right next to a fireplace. That's probably what you're hearing.
I was listening to Brian's story so intensely. There's this fucking.
He's like, is that a fan?
So funny.
Gabby, how you doing? What you doing?
She sleep. She
Gabby,
sleep.
she just fall asleep here?
She can go to a different room.
She does that from time to time.
Does she snore?
No, she doesn't.
Spit in her mouth. That's the best snaps right there.
Even when we hang up, I'm probably gonna be up for a little while. Make me some tacos before I go.
Oh, it is fucking.
Excuse me?
2 a.m.
I'm gonna make me
Why
some
not?
fucking tacos. What?
Why?
Because I'm a fucking adult and I can do what I want.
Okay. Congratulations.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
if you guys could tell me you guys don't want tacos.
No, one night I went to Walmart at
Think
2 o'clock in the morning. I made spaghetti. That's true.
Wait, what you saying?
I went to Walmart around like 2 o'clock in the morning once and just made spaghetti when I got home.
You are the worst person. Why would you do
How?
that?
Why not? Because I'm an adult. Like you said.
Stay fucking home.
I'm an adult.
When niggas come like to Target at like midnight. What the fuck you want?
What?
What the fuck you want? Go to a gas station. Stay your ass home.
You mean buy hamburger and noodles
Oh
at
my
a gas
God,
station?
going to QT 2:00 in the morning is the best.
That's scary.
Like, yo, man, like, I hate the fucking store, man. I'm over here trying to say, oh, man, I don't have to worry about no one anymore. I have to write up my fucking cases from, like, reports and shit.
What the
And
fuck
then
do you
niggas,
do for work?
security.
Oh, I'm
Because, so, like,
detective over here.
yeah, I have to, like, stop thieves and write up reports on thieves and shit. And
He's a
then
detective.
also open jackasses' lockers and check for all the stolen merchandise in the store. I get called for the dumbest shit like I'm a fucking cop.
Shaw's like, get the hell out of my store.
Like, motherfuckers called me for like a lost dog. Where's this? Can you find this dog? I'm a fucking security guy. What do you want?
The dogs allowed in Target?
They can be.
Oh yeah, that's what you were doing that day when I came to Target. You was hunting some old lady down.
No, shit. It was this woman who keeps stealing from my store named Tamara Irvin. She's fucking annoying.
God, you know her whole name.
Yeah,
Damn.
she's been arrested. Like, she was born in 1982. Has been arrested several times apparently, for habitual larceny. She keeps stealing, and she gets arrested, and then she comes back like 2 weeks later.
She's the villain like Batman. Just kill her. End it there. Instead of taking her to jail, just kill her. It ends the problem.
She's like really annoying. Like, she got me one. Like, I got her one time, and then she got me like 2 days later. I think it's paid.
I kind of see it like you guys like, Tamika's back. Whatever. It's like a sign kind of thing.
Leave behind like a cue card.
Tamara has 20 warrants out for her, and she can't
Jesus
be found
Christ.
for some fucking reason.
She's in your vents. She's sleeping in there.
She's Carmen San Diego.
Sleeping under the store.
That used to happen at my Best Buy.
Fuck, I fucking hate her sometimes. Like, I enjoy the whole cat and mouse game once in a while, but I mean, like, when I'm working late at night on my own, like, I get licked. Of course I'm gonna lose fucking merchandise. I'm the only nigga protecting this shit in like this big ass store with 2 entrances. Man, y'all could fucking have it at this point.
Secret Shaw
do
versus
you
El
keep a
Chapo.
file?
We all know who it is.
Do you-
The Shaw.
So answer me this. Even if you know that I'm stealing at Target, do you pursue me or do you just make a case and then let me go? And then when
At
I
the
come
moment,
back-
I'm not allowed to touch you because of COVID, so I can't actually harm you at the moment. But I'm planning to harm you eventually.
fucking fat. What's your target, Shaw?
Also, I know where the blind spots are on the camera, so I plan on being up there.
See, that's the trick. You never steal in the blind spots of the camera. You never do. that.
Actually, I threatened some kid to drop some shit already because I basically just told him like this shit doesn't pick up audio. So, and it's my word against his, man. Just give me the shit back and go home. All right.
Just go home, kid.
At this point, I just have to scare niggas because only like most of the boosters know that I can't do shit. They'll just fucking walk out.
Right.
Like, we gotta wait till like I don't even know if it's the coronavirus we waiting to somehow clear up to like start touching people again. But
It's liability, I think.
Let me beat you up.
at this point, I'm just their like black security guy. Like, I scare people because I'm the big black guy at this point.
Is that why you got hired?
Sean, what do you sound like
Is that
you're
what
in
you
the
got?
middle of a Russian expedition in a submarine?
Good night,
Those headphones.
See you guys later.
Good night.
I switched from my
Bruh.
AirPods to the headphones, and it sounds horrible now.
God, those headphones are garbage.
Yeah. I'll switch back eventually when I'm back on my PC.
God, it's like you in a spaceship.
Obviously.
Like you like space on where you got.
Over. Okay, that's good to know. So I'm just gonna fucking walk up to Target, just walk out with some shit.
Please just don't steal from my Target. I don't want to have to write the case.
What Target are you from?
What, Steel Creek or
Don't
Riverdale?
tell
I
him.
forget what it's called.
That's exactly where I'm going.
Brian, I will hurt you.
Yeah, like a mask on.
Shop
I
for the
will-
oldest trick in the book.
I will fucking pull out my old ass hoodie and just beat you up in the store.
Do some Daredevil shit.
Daredevil Target. That'd be so fucking stupid.
Get the hell out of my city or the
There's
store.
just some black guy in a hoodie walking around beating up on people and stuff. Get
This
out
is
of my
vengeance.
Target.
You like Batman beat this guy up,
This is
stealing
my-
milk.
Yeah.
This is vengeance.
Honestly, if you take milk, I don't care. If you just don't take any of my expensive shit. I do not want to have to deal with everyone being annoyed by that. Oh, this guy stole this, and I don't give a shit anymore.
Shaw, I am stealing a PS5.
You will never find
you
one.
can find it.
Yeah, you can find one.
Nigga, I can't find one, and I work in one of the distributors at this point.
Yeah, you can't tell them to set one up back for you. You can do
No,
that.
the Xbox is out, but not the PS5s.
You guys have
No way.
PS5s in stock.
Shit, I think there's 8 or 10 of them right now.
Tell them to hold one for you.
No, I can't. Target employees, as I was told by someone too high on their horse, that I cannot use my Target benefits to outmaneuver customers. or
Dude,
get-
you're protecting them. You have every right to get one.
You protect the city.
Yes, I protect them from crackheads and homeless people.
Why would a homeless person need a PS4?
They steal from me too often, and I look the other way. Honestly, at this point, I've
They
been
sell
looking
it for
at them.
drugs.
Why not homeless people are druggies?
True.
We gotta check our biases here.
That is
They're
true.
not, I mean, they're not all druggies. Some.
Poor life decision.
I mean, the ones I've been around there are.
Kind of sucks that.
I'm just tired of dealing with bullshit and everybody's small ass detective work constantly. This person did this. I think they're up to something.
Dude,
You know how many? You know
I
how many
do
people-
actually relate with that, Shaw. I hate when fucking people are like, well, you know, this could go wrong, and like this person did that, so I think that it's that. It's just like, hey, you went there.
So you know the walkie-talkie codes too. I had to learn that last year.
What?
It's like 2-4-0, 210 for blood. Or
Oh,
110 for
yeah.
blood. What is it?
The codes.
Yeah, God, I hated that.
Where do you work, Jay?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm at Costco.
I did not know that.
That sounds.
Oh yeah, I hear
Interesting.
Costco security team is insane.
Ow.
Like they be frisking everybody. I hear that.
So if
They
someone in
make
Costco
sure-
tries to frisk me, I throw hands.
Nah, Brian, you're gonna get touched.
No,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
like
throw
it.
hands. I'm gonna throw hands. There was one. I was really mad because there was one time where I got asked for a receipt, so I left the Walmart, having paid in front of the person, and they said, "Hey, can I see your receipt?" And I couldn't play the race card because the guy was black, and I was just like, fucking.
Play the race card?
You're
Wait,
upset
wait.
another minority stopped you.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, we're supposed
Minority
to do this
Report.
together, man. Like I don't want to fucking. Don't help the white man.
Right, you know how upset I am. How many black people I catch? I get fucking what is it? My cousins will. They say, I know you ain't racially profiling people. I said I'm not. I'm really trying to catch more white people, but they keep showing up.
Dude, I fucking hate my neighbor, my ex neighbor, who was a black woman, stole one of our packages.
Oh,
Damn.
Straight from our door, and I was fucking pissed.
Is her name Tamara?
Yoinked your shit.
Yeah, she did. She did join it, and I was.
If her name's Tamara, tell me her address. I'm trying to get her
Cinema.
arrested.
That's fucking funny. Don't know what her fucking name is.
Find
Would that be
out,
hilarious
please.
though?
I'm
It's
trying to
her
get her
the
ass
entire
arrested.
time.
She fucking
Continuity here. It's a story going on.
But she stole her package, and the thing that pissed me off the most is that she was black. Because I don't want to be like my only black neighbor is the one that's stealing my fucking package.
You disappointed
that
in my
is-
people?
That is so much that's a dilemma.
I'm not mad. I'm just really disappointed.
Brian disappointed in other minorities.
It's just like,
Just be better.
Like, come on, y'all, don't prove them right.
it's like I'm trying to not like I don't want to be racist, but like
I'm not racist, but
I don't want to be racist.
Yeah,
But why
that's
are
a
black
good way
people
to start
constantly
that.
stealing from me?
it's like nothing makes me feel worse than having to say, yeah, my black neighbor fucking stole my package.
Just say your neighbor.
Oh,
Don't
black
bring up a
people got
race.
I don't say
The
I don't say
race
the
is
race.
important.
I don't say the race, but in conversation, whoever knows who my neighbor is knows that they're black.
That black woman you're talking about?
they side-eye him to death. Like,
I want to go to this neighborhood. That black woman earlier? God.
That
Yeah.
black.
yeah, that's it. Hard black.
Brian.
It's
Big emphasis on the black.
When another Puerto Rican
all
does
the
something
rest
really
of our
shitty,
neighbors were
like,
all white.
No, I'm Dominican.
what'd you say?
So Tay said, no, I'm Dominican. But
I hate when another Puerto Rican does something really fucked up because I'm like, man, I'm fucking like I now have to work harder for you.
like,
God damn,
I
got-
say, Brian, as a man born from